you guys. Um, you summoned Xanilix in the cave, and you let her approach the dragon statue that you found inside the chamber. And upon doing so, her ghostly form began to change and alter, and she took a corporeal form. Her kind of like spectral, bony, skeletal figure turned into one of flesh and muscle, and she actually can now stomp around the earth like a normal dinosaur does. And she did just that. She ended up walking out of the cave after she got her power back. Right before which she ended up sapping some strength from all of you except for George. She kept some of that strength for herself and gave some of it to George. Um, After that, you guys decided to um, pursue the Replins because you saw one of those automatons on the etchings in the wall, and so you decided to go to the Replins and see what info you could find. You sent a letter to Captain Dardanos as well, bringing him up to speed on some of the things that have happened. And as you slept at the cave, you woke up the next morning, you got a nice overlook and saw some other potential signs of civilization. Kind of unclear exactly what or who lives at each of those locations, but you saw like 3 locations where there were lights at night. And it looks like there are buildings. And you also see that the island is not all jungle. You actually saw off to the northeast, there are some like plains, some rolling hills, which was interesting. And you slept the night, woke up the next morning, saw that stuff at the overlook, and then started making your way. You decided to take a different route over to the Replins. Instead of going right down the hill back to the ruins where you fought the spider, you decided to take the eastern route through the mountains to kind of stay at higher elevation for a little bit longer. And as you were hiking on that first day of travel, it began to torrentially downpour. And after a short while of this crazy thunderstorm, um, you are experiencing your first flash flood. We've been doing that for a little bit of time here, and the situation as it stands is looks like we have the majority of the party in the boat, in the canoe. Lenora is still struggling to get back in the canoe after trying to pull Stella, and then Stella undid the rope around her waist really, really quickly, and Lenora and Bo ended up falling backwards into the water. So Lenora is not having a great time here. George, Kirkus, Stella, and Nob are all kind of around this tree, which the ice around it has almost melted at this point, melted enough where it's not super useful anymore. But they did manage, thanks to some sweet rope tying checks by Stella and Kirkus. You guys managed to tie a rope around the tree and then tie that rope again to Nob's cart. And that's where we left off, with thunder still cracking in the sky overhead and rain pouring down on the party. And since Sloan is not here, let's start with Aurora.
Ah. Right. Well, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna offer the paddle end of the canoe to Lenora again, but this time I'm gonna kind of like wave it around at first and try to shake some of the water off of it. She slipped off of it twice now, I think.
Yep. Twice now, Lenora has just lost grip on the oar.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to make it as unslippery as I can and hold it out to her.
Okay. We'll just take Lenora's turn then. Right now, let me pull up an overlay, and let's get a strength check from both of you. Lenora's going to try and grab on to the oar. Oh,
I swear.
oh my god! All right. So Lenora, you put the oar out, and she starts like grasping for it, and her hands are just like slipping and slipping across the oar. But you quickly just like shake the oar off again in the middle of the rain and reach a little bit over, kind of like half of your your whole torso now, like only your waist is like in the ship, just to get like a little bit of extra range. And because you crit success, you're going to give Lenora an extra chance at this.
Huge.
Oh my god. And I guess it's raining so much, the oar is far too slippery. Lenora starts to drown even more as the waves come crashing over her head, and she's unable to grab it. Unreal.
Okay.
And here, we're going to roll a d4 to see what direction Lenora goes in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. We'll go clockwise, starting with northern direction. That's not good. The waves are pushing Lenora farther away from the boat.
Oh no.
Bo is gonna see what's happening, and he's gonna reach into his bag and he's gonna toss a rope out to Lenora. Everybody's got, I think, 25 feet of rope, so he's gonna do that. So he'll make a dexterity check, sleight of hand, I mean, to try and throw the rope. All right, it's not great, but it gets close enough to Lenora that she's gonna attempt to try and or I guess we'll wait till her next turn to try and attempt to kind of grab onto that. And let's see, draw a line. So, I want to make it white, make it easier to see. So that will give Lenora maybe at least a little bit of help next turn, but he'll cast the line out to her.
This oar is not long enough anymore.
It's the oar is no longer
tape
long
the
enough.
two oars together.
Oh man. Okay. Luther is gonna wait until he sees what George, Kirkus, Nob, and Stella are doing. He's just kind of like looking over in your guys' direction towards the tree. So let's start with Kirkus. Kirkus or Nob, it doesn't really matter.
If I remember correctly, someone tied a absolutely incredible knot.
Yep. Yeah.
I think it was the cart to the tree.
Yeah, Stella rolled a 12 on tying the rope to the tree, and I think Kirkus rolled a 12, like a crit, on tying the rope to the cart.
So I think Nob has accepted the fact that he's going to weather out this storm on the cart right here at this very location. So he's going to try and tie himself to the cart.
Okay.
Like a seatbelt.
All right. You can do a sleight of hand or engineering check.
Okay.
All right. A couple of quick knots and quick ties is looks like pretty sufficient. The rope is secured very well. Knob to the
Also,
cart.
the status of Wilbert. Is he like drowning?
If he's also secured to the cart, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's attached to the cart itself because he pulls it.
Yes. Part of Lenora's adjustments to the cart were to make it float. So it's Wilbert's not having a great time, but Wilbert is kind of just like moving with the waves as they're passing like by the cart and making the cart shift in the water. But it's floating enough where he's not at risk of drowning.
Okay, and I would, yeah, tying myself off and trying to hold on to Wilbert, make sure he doesn't float down the mountain.
Yeah, he seems pretty secure to the cart for now. All right, Nob's hunkering in, tying himself off. Nob is extremely secure to the cart, and the cart extremely secure to the tree. Kirkus, what are you doing?
I'm holding on to. I had to tie the cart off to the tree, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm currently holding on to the cart. Is there a good place for me to like hold on to the cart? Like good handholds and everything. Like
I don't know, Knob. How's the cart looking for Kirkus being able to hold on to it somewhere? It's not very big.
I mean, it has edges where, like, it's imagine a typical like wagon you'd find at a farmer's festival. Like he can hold on to like the edge of the cart, but it's not a big cart. Like
it's like a suitcase size, right?
Right.
So
Yeah. Okay.
Kirkus weighs more than it.
Yeah, it's like a if you're going on an international flight, like that size suitcase.
But I mean, I could hold onto the rope that's in between the cart and the tree.
Yeah, the rope's long. There's extra rope, for sure. The ice is fading, so Knob hasn't like drifted away from the tree yet, but he'll end up drifting away from the tree probably at least a little bit. Just a couple of feet, so there'll be a couple feet of rope if you want to grab onto it.
While I'm like basically like treading water, do I think it's possible to climb this tree?
You could attempt to. Right now, the ice is it's like cracking underneath you, and it's starting to like melt. But there's just enough where the water's still icy cold where you are, and you can still get some kind of leverage. But you're like right up against the tree right now. So the waves are trying to push you away from the tree, but you can try to climb if you would like to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get up onto a sturdy branch that I could sit on, and then like hold onto the tree with my arm.
Okay, yeah. Let's roll an athletics check to climb.
Oh, I gotta bring up the menu. Make sure I'm clicked on myself, not George.
Yeah, a little tough there.
Okay.
All right, yeah, Kirkus really close to the tree. You can see a branch up near the top, and you grab onto one of the lower branches and hoist yourself up. Do a nice pull up with George on you, and you can pull yourself up to one of the upper branches. A good, at least 6 feet from where the water level is.
Okay.
Okay, George, do you have anything that you would like to do?
Nope,
while you're
George is just chilling on the
Okay.
back.
All right,
Going for
Stella's
the ride.
gonna follow Kirkus. Stella is going to attach herself to the tree and start to climb. It's a little bit slippery, so she's not going to be fully up the tree yet, but she doesn't fall off. So she's just kind of like still going to be in the process of climbing. She can't quite get up the tree yet, but she's not being pushed away by the waves either. I guess Luther is going to he's gonna just pass for now. He sees what they're trying to do, and he's just gonna tell Louis, because Louis and Ash are kind of focused on paddling right now. He's just gonna say, "It looks like those four are just trying to seek safety in the tree. I'm not sure what you want to do, but we're gonna have to leave them here if we keep going down the river." Yeah.
Okay, quick question. Is there like any... I was under the impression there was no choice but to keep going down the river. Like, we were in a big, very fast-flowing torrent of water.
There's
pretty
always a
fast
choice.
flowing. I mean, it's pretty fast flowing. Like, you're not going to be able to like fight the current. Like, if you just like paddle backwards, you can't like be at parity with it. But there are options of trying to get the boat stuck on a tree, or trying to, run into one of these cliffs and get on land. There is land that is not in the water.
Hey, are any of these cliffs sort of like ramp-shaped? I need to like a perception check to try to find one.
Like, are you looking for a ramp to like go over or to stop you?
I sort of have this idea of like going up a ramp to like an area that isn't inside this box canyon and is instead in the area where the floodwater isn't flowing.
Okay, yeah, make a perception check.
Pull up the skills overlay up.
And it's raining pretty heavily right now, so it's a little hard to see. But you manage to look past these trees as you're paddling, and you can see two areas that might get you what you want that are in front of you. Either this area here, it's a little bit slanted, it's pretty steep. You might have to do a little bit of work with the rest of the people in the boat and get some to like make the boat a little bit back heavy to kind of tip the front up a bit, because it is pretty steep. But you might be able to ramp it up here, or there's actually a little ramp here as well, which is less steep, that might land you over here. The risk being that this section right here is really the only section that's a ramp. The rest of it is a very harsh cliff. So if you miss, you're running straight into a wall.
I think if we paddled hard enough and aimed towards this ramp, we could ramp our way up, So I'd like to sort of aim us like between these trees and then have us paddle as hard as possible. So is that like 2 rounds of actions? One to aim and then one to speed up?
We'll do the aiming now, and then maybe next turn we'll do the speed up.
Okay. So, yeah, upon hearing what Luthier says, Louis, scans the area in front of him, identifies this ramp, and will say to Ash, it will sort of point out that thing and say, Ash, we're heading right for that ramp. We gotta get ourselves out of this canyon.
And he looks at you, looks at the ramp, looks at the people in the tree. You're a crazy bastard, Louis. All right, let's go. And he'll start to dig in. And because this is more of a steering type thing, you can use athletics or you can use engineering. Either one. It's good.
I'm still going for athletics. Also, I think that I'm currently down 2 points on Ash in our contest.
Was it 2 or 3? Was it 2?
I was up by 1 and then I lost by 3, so now I'm down by 2.
Okay, yep, down by 2. Pretty good roll. Okay, he's only down by 1. All right. Okay, the boat changes course a little bit and begins to head in between these trees.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna since Luthier was the one who told us to do this, I'm gonna shout back to him. If you could either start paddling to get us some more speed, or move to the back of the boat to get the weight out of the front.
Understood. How about both? And so at the top of the next turn, I guess Luther's going to start. He's going to grab a paddle and he's going to go to the back, and he'll roll one of these just to try and get to the back. And it's the water is still rough. It's a little bit rocky, but he manages to stay in the boat. And he's also going to hand a paddle to Sloane as well. And they will join the paddling once it's Paddle Boy's turn.
That's right. We've got 4 people paddling this time.
Yes, less people in the water means more people to paddle. Here we go. Okay, Aurora. Do you want to take an action, or do you want to let Bo do his rope thing first?
I'll let Bo do his rope thing first. I'll see where this rope goes.
All right. Lenora is going to try to get the rope, and since Dana's not going to be here for the entirety of the session, I don't feel as bad using his jungle terrain to gain advantage on this. Okay. Come on, Bo. All right. Finally, oars just aren't Lenora's thing. She's able to grab onto the rope. It takes a bit of time trying to find it through the waves, but eventually she grabs onto it, and Bo, after seeing that she has a firm grip, pulls her in, and Lenora will get back into the boat. Okay, Aurora.
All right. Well, Aurora she was like looking back and forth between like Lenora and like Louis and Ash's planning up front, kind of frantically, and now Lenora is up. She's like, okay, and she's gonna pull out her her notebook and that phoenix feather,
Oh.
and she is going to write in it with the feather, "Louis saves the day," or "Louis succeeds." Something. Louis saves the day. Yes. I want to use my my thing on Louis.
All right, go for it.
Uh oh. Power has already been expended.
Oh, it's probably because that didn't actually give you a use when you got it. That's probably why.
Okay.
All right, should work now.
Power has already been expended.
Huh?
All right, I've clicked off of Aurora now.
Okay. Okay. It says you have an EQ 1. All right.
All right.
Nice.
Oh. Okay, and I think that's all the action I can take right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kirkus, you are on top of the branch. You and George hanging out there, and you see that Stella is attempting to climb up the tree. She's not all the way there, but she's kind of got like one of her hands on one of the other branches. But the water is still kind of like beating at her legs, which is making it a little bit hard to get up. Would you like to do anything this round?
Yeah. Or maybe could I assist in trying to help Stella climb higher?
Yeah. How would you like to assist her?
So she's got one arm on a branch coming up.
Yeah.
The other.
Yeah. You kind of saw her like grab onto a branch, try and pull herself up. And you saw a wave come and like hit her on the side, and it caused her to like fall back in the water. But then she grabbed onto the branch again. So she's her like knee and down is still like in the water, but she's in the process of pulling herself up.
All right, I'd like to try to offer a hand, and I'd like to lower myself, like kind of leaning back on the branch with one arm going down to her and the other arm around the branch, trying to like give myself support. And I'm just trying not to go too low where I slip, but trying to offer her hand that isn't on the branch a place to grab onto to help boost her up.
Sounds good. Yeah, you have to kind of like come down just a little bit. You're actually at a pretty good height for her, but she's on the like kind of other side of the tree. So you just kind of like shimmy around the tree a little bit. You can get that one arm around the branch and one arm extending down to her. And she'll reach out for your hand, and you'll give her advantage on her athletics check. And then let's have you roll an athletics check to pull her.
All right. Make sure I'm clicked on myself.
Pretty good roll from her though. So
Wait, is that not a critical success, or does it
She-
not display with the advantage?
Oh, let's go.
she has 2 in athletics. So
God.
yeah, her and Louie both have 2 in athletics. So does Ash actually. So yeah, Kirkus reaches down his hand and Stella grabs onto his forearm, and Kirkus easily pulls her up, and she grabs onto another branch as she's going and gets her feet on a branch and is easily able to climb up that tree and sit atop with the water flowing beneath them, with Kirkus and Stella just safely secure in this tree now, it seems like.
And how many leaves are on this tree? Like, how much can we see out of it? high we are?
You can see a decent amount. It's obscuring some of your vision, so you can't see like, you can't see everything, but like you can tell where the boat is, and you can tell who's in the boat.
Okay. And it's crazy loud though, right?
Yeah, it's loud. The rain is loud. The thunder is pretty loud. The water is loud. If you shout, you can hear each other, but if you're just talking, you certainly couldn't hear people who are in the boat, even though you're 20 feet away.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to try to yell to the people in the boat now that everyone in this group is what we think safely secured. So I'd like to just yell down to the people in the boat, be like, "Hey, you guys go. We'll meet up later once this is over." And I'll be doing that like, kind of like the opposite of like the come here with the hand. Like going the other way, just like go, go.
Okay. All right, George. Anything for you?
Nope. Nothing from me.
All right, George has just got the Kirkus Express. He's fine. He's
pretty
fine first
nice.
class.
As far as George capabilities, this is not one of them. This
Yeah,
is all Gurgus.
This is a pretty good deal for him, for sure. Nob, would you like to do anything?
Uh, well, after hearing Kirkus say that I'm not going to intervene, I was thinking about potentially trying to use some magic on the boat, but I think it could go really wrong. So I'm just gonna hold on to Wilbert, pray to the angels, out of panic.
Sounds good. Yeah, you don't want to. I'll make the boat bigger and get a crit fail and turn the boat into a teeny tiny Hot Wheels boat.
Yeah.
All right. So just chilling. So now we'll go back to the rowers.
Yeah.
So Louis, our first instance of epic.
Yeah, so Louis has this idea of how he wants this boat jump to go. He's listened to too many action stories.
Oh no.
And he has this idea of going up this this ramp and just like the whole boat leaping gracefully out of the box canyon and just landing safely on some perch up here. And he now feels just incredibly inspired. Like, this is the thing that he can really do. So, he's just gonna shout, like, full speed ahead! We row for the ram!
Okay, and Ash, still looking about as scared as he was last round. He's still going to follow Louis' orders. He's going to start digging in at full speed with his. Oh my god, he's so good.
No, how is this possible?
Sloane is going to do the same, and
Dude.
Luther has an oar in one hand, and he puts it into the water, and again you see that teal arm that's just a little bit too small to be Luther's grab the other end of the paddle, and he's going to start paddling as well.
Do I get any bonus from having this status on me?
Yep. So you will have advantage on this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still knocking out Perform Ash.
Oh! And that puts him ahead by 1, too, right? Oh my god. It's too good. It's too good. Louis digging into the water. The boat actually starts to turn this way a little bit because Louis is just paddling so much harder than anybody than everybody else. But he leans off the gas a little bit, and the boat comes up here and hits the side, and as soon as it hits the side, the people in the back lean back to try and tip the boat up, and Louis and Ash go down even further. They're kind of sinking down into the ship, so their chests are off of hanging outside of the boat so they can still reach the water, and they're paddling as fast as they can, and vroom, the boat launches and crashes down onto the mountainside and begins to spin a little bit. But as soon as you hit, Louis again puts his paddle out in front, using it as a brake, and manages to stop the canoe from going any further down the mountainside.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stand right here with the paddle braced as a lever under the canoe and say, I hope everyone had a safe trip.
Ash is going to turn to Louis, and everyone's just soaked at this point, and he's going to just put the paddle across his lap, take a big sigh. There's no way that should have worked. But I gotta hand it to you. That was some good shit. He'll extend an arm. to Louis.
And Louis will take the hand and vigorously shake it. Say, yes. Back in Bavent. I was out on the fishing boats. By age 5, I made captain by 10. I know all about the water.
I can see that now. Is everybody else okay? And he turns back, and Luther is back to just having his one arm. Him and Sloane look extremely exhausted. Old men aren't built for this. Lenora is also just looking defeated, not physically, but more emotionally from just failing to get back in the boat for so long. By the grace of our good angels, we have survived. We should probably find some cover, though. It's still raining pretty fierce.
Yes, I suppose so. Where we can wait out this flood.
And they'll just kind of go
cover.
in the trees here. You know, there's some trees by the edge of like the valley, and the water is just still rushing past, covering almost halfway up the large trees here. But they're the treetops still provide nice cover.
If we flipped the boat, sort of, we could probably shelter under it.
Sounds fine to me. You guys can flip the boat over if you want.
Yeah. And we can't put it back.
It's true. It doesn't go back in the can.
Might as well get some more use out of it.
Louis will sort of look longingly at the stream of water going down the mountain. Say, if only we had everyone in the boat, we could have just rowed down the mountain thing.
I think it's maybe just as well that we didn't do that. Glad that everyone's okay. I think.
All right. This crew is now safely secured at the edge of the mountain here. Kirkus, are you guys just like staying up in the tree? Are you doing anything else while you're up in there? Just kind of hanging on to the trunk?
After seeing that they're stationary and everyone seems safe enough and they're hunkering down, yeah, Kirkus is just gonna hold on and that's it.
So we're gonna see how strong the winds are here.
Oh no.
All right, the winds are actually decent strong. So you and Stella can kind of grab onto each other as well as you're grabbing onto this tree. So let's go ahead and have Kirkus roll an athletics check with advantage. Okay. So as the wind and storm rages, you guys start to get blown about and battered about a bit. The branch is kind of like hitting you guys in the face inside, and you start to lose grip of the tree. We're gonna do 3 rounds of this. All right. Do it again. Athletics with advantage. All right. The winds appear to slow down for a bit, and you and Stella can regain your grip on the tree, and we'll see as the storm is fading. Oops. What we have here for the last. All right.
Is that what they call
It's
the
pretty
second wind?
It's pretty tough. But let's see. Another athletics check with advantage. Okay.
Okay.
Well done. It's really touch and go. You can feel your arm slip at one point, but Stella grabs onto your shirt and pulls you back. She loses grip, and Kirkus grabs onto her arm before she loses grasp of the trunk before she falls from the branch that she's sitting on, and you guys manage to stay atop the tree during the storm. And I'm just gonna roll for the waves again. I'm gonna do 2 rolls for the waves and see if they're strong enough to break this rope. But you guys rolled a 13, or no, it was a 12 and a 12, right? Yeah, I think it was 12 and
so.
12. So 24. So all right, it's not even possible. It needed to max roll on both of those, which it did not. So here, just for good measure, let's see. All right, yeah. So the knots stay. Actually, because we should do Knob's roll too, which I'm sure was fine. I think he rolled a 9.
My 9, yep.
Yeah, 9. So definitely your 33 is much better than their 15. The wave's 15. So the rope stays very tightly secured around the tree, around the cart, and from Knob to the cart as well. And you guys will kind of be waiting out the storm for just another half an hour. It's not going to last for too terribly long, but long enough where you're getting cold and uncomfortable until the storm fades. And the waters that were rushing through the valley begin to slow, and they still are kind of trickling down these tiny little streams down the mountainsides, and there's still a good amount of water in the valley, but it has slowed significantly. And the sun begins to peek its little head out from the thunderclouds in the background. And the water's shallow enough where you guys can walk across the valley now. So Stella will drop down and walk across to the party.
Nob hasn't really spoken a word to Kirkus or Stella or George this entire time because he's been so nervous about being carried off to who knows where. As soon as he notices that the storm stops, he says, "Is it over?"
Looks like it is. Sun's coming back out, and we made it. As I hop down.
Whoever tied this knot saved my life, and I am grateful. Very grateful. Was that you, Stella? I think it was, right?
She tied it to the tree. Kirkus tied the rope to the cart.
You both bound my life to this tree and have saved me once again. Kirkus, my hero.
Like I always said, I'm there for you, Knob.
You see, I had my fingers up.
Oh, I saw them, and I wasn't gonna leave you. You know.
You didn't see my tears, though.
It was
I
just
covered that with my other hand.
It was just the rain. I'll wink to Knob.
That's right. Is everyone okay?
Looks like Aurora's come splashing over to us.
Yeah, I'm splashing through the shallows over here to make sure that people in the tree are okay. Apart from Stella, hurried over. Make sure that you guys are all right.
Was that your plan to launch the boat?
No, absolutely not. Although to be honest, I didn't have much of a plan. I was mostly just holding on and trying to keep everyone in the boat as best I could. It was Louis' idea, and I'm a bit surprised it worked, but here we are. We all made it. So glad that all of you were okay. Not sure that this tree would be able to hold up. It was quite a flood.
What a storm. We haven't seen anything like that while we were here.
Oh. We're trying to avoid the river, and the river finds us.
That's true. We're never allowed to escape, it seems.
George will start patting Kirkus on the back. You know, Kirkus, you make a pretty good raft yourself.
I guess so. Thank you, Conqueror. I think you saved my life back there.
Wilbur's.
I quite literally had your back out there. And you had mine. Think nothing of it.
Nob's inspecting Wilbur to make sure that he's okay. And he's going to say,
Is he water?
after further inspection of Wilbur, we need to get off this mountain. Wilbur is not happy. I believe he is grumpy. And last time I saw him grumpy, there were problems. To you guys, Wilbur looks pretty much the same. Except very wet.
Well, that settles it then. I'll try to start untying the knots around the cart and the tree.
Yeah, I'll try to help with this super knot.
Roll a sleight of hand with advantage. Or, yeah, sleight of hand with advantage. Or engineering with advantage, doesn't matter.
You want me to, or?
Yeah, you
Kirkus.
yeah, you initiated it.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, or engineering, whichever one suits your fancy.
I suck at both.
Same.
Yeah, you can easily get the ropes untied without damaging them, so they're still just as useful as they were before.
Tell you what though, Lenora is an incredible engineer. The cart seems to be pretty okay. Incredible. I think I might even be able to go off a cliff in this thing.
Oh, don't try that. I think you might have taken one too many watch shifts with Louis.
We did talk about that once.
What?
Never mind.
Gonna like
Never
shoot a
mind.
glance over her shoulder at Louis.
JK.
Well, I guess our path is down?
Hmm?
I don't even know what side of the mountain we're on anymore. Can we tell?
Yeah, I mean, looking down, it's still kind of foggy from the rainstorm, and especially because it seems like it's moving its way south. So it's kind of hard to see, but you look like you're still facing the south right now, going
Okay.
down. Yeah, you're in the mountains, like just to the east of like the ruins at the foothills on our little map there. So if you guys wanted to make the quickest way out of the mountains, you'd probably have to start heading west, and you'd go down to the ruins, or you can keep going in the mountains, heading south. It'll keep you in the mountains for longer, but you'll avoid the ruins.
The ruins that we are trying to get to?
No, the spider ruins.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah. If you guys, if you're on the World Anvil map, you're like basically directly to the right of the ruins at the foothills. There's like a mountain range there.
Okay.
I can probably actually remove some of the fog and just re-upload it, so you guys can see kind of where we are. Haven't really done this in real time before because we haven't really had a need.
The Well, we
So, yeah.
have a ways to go to get to the Replin ruins. Um, we could try approaching them from above, and explore what area is directly above the Replin ruins. That'd be a good use of our time. So maybe we go down off the mountain and go east. What do people think?
Wait, what the did something change about the map? I can't.
Make sure
The
you have the update up in the corner.
I just deleted it and re-uploaded an update, so you might have to just refresh it
yes,
if there
that's
was
what
no
happened.
update.
Yep.
Because yeah, I added the little mountain that's to the right of the ruins at the foothills, which is where you guys are now. There's like a little mountain there.
Right, so we have ruins at the foothills. So what
Yep.
Knobs is suggesting is that we try and approach the Replin ruins from above-ish, and maybe travel this fog that's above the Replin ruins and the monster sighting.
Oh, so like east of the ruins of the foothills, basically.
Yeah,
So like we come down the mountain and because when you're saying approach from above, we could come at the ruins just purely from the mountain. Like, we could just come down the mountain to it.
Yeah, wait, are we on the riverward side or the away from the riverward side of like the peaks of this this mountain range?
Where are you on the what? If you look at the ruins at the foothills and just go east until like it hits the fog, you're like on that mountain that's like to the east of that.
right. Okay.
Oh,
I'm,
okay. I
I'm,
thought we were on the mountain that was like.
I'm
just
actually trying
the west
to.
of the ruins.
So if we went straight south, Matt, would it reveal the area above the monster sighting?
Yes.
Okay.
That sounds
Okay.
good. It would also keep us away from the river and the
Yeah.
deadliest animal.
Well,
Deadly.
there was a moment where I thought
Listen,
you were talking about that huge dragon.
No,
Then I realized.
No.
it was a meme. I posted that before we learned that the mosquitoes were responsible for everything.
Well,
I thought you were talking about the frogs.
the less backtracking we do, the better. And I think we could just get off the mountain as quickly as possible and get to the ruins quickly by going through this unexplored land.
Yeah, due south sounds pretty appealing. My only concern is that if there's like pure mountains heading due south, that might be difficult terrain to hike. But like we want to explore these mountains sooner or later, anyways. So might as well be sooner. Oh, there, that mountain.
Yes. So you guys are here. I brought you onto a new map on Map Tool that has our map that you can cross-reference with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had thought that you were talking about this mountain.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys were here. That's where you found the cave. You spent
So
today
we're
coming
here.
down, and you got to this mountain. And this is where the flash flood happened, and so you're coming down this mountain. Yeah.
So
you
the
got it.
Replin ruins are where my cursor is.
Mm.
So we could try and get this
Yeah,
chunk. And then if for whatever reason we have to go, we could try and cover this on the way back to camp or something if we decide to go back. But we have 30 days, so.
I'd be interested to find out like what's in this area. Like, does it look like there's just more mountain range here? Like, we should be able to see. Is there like a big mountain right here? Or
So okay. So you guys. Yes. So the mountains look like they extend over here. If I'm looking at my map correctly, yeah. There's just more mountains here. You can't really see beyond them.
So we will have to kind of go over some mountains to get
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys remember at the monster setting, which I think we have on our map, like right here, like
Yeah.
it like flew over some mountains. Like this seems to be like a mountain range.
Mountain.
I mean,
So-
like
But
we have
okay.
a lot of time to kill,
Yeah,
quote
the
unquote.
Replin
Like
ruins
I'm
were...
fine with it.
Yeah, we could keep traveling through the mountains. Just now, if it starts raining, we should seek cover or like seek high ground like immediately, because we know that now like the mountains can get flash flooded. But
Well,
other than
what do
that,
we
like
do
that's the
about-
only bad thing that's really happened to the mountains. I think.
We can't put this canoe back in the can.
No, we cannot.
So we're out of canoe unless we want to carry it with us.
We
Which
should
is
probably
fine,
not
I
carry the
guess.
canoe.
Yeah.
Unless we want to slide down the mountain in it. Probably.
Let's slide.
So we want to go maybe perhaps east and then south?
So I don't know if this is intended to be revealed, but if you look like at the Replin ruins, right? The Replin
Mhm.
ruins are pretty close to the coast, which is cool, right? But it looks like there's actually like maybe that's on like an inlet in the actual coast, like, you know, you see it looks like this is coast going out this way.
Yep.
So we don't know how far the continent extends in this direction, but I don't think it's safe for us to say like, oh, let's just travel east until we find the coast and then head down the coast, because the coast might be like, you know, anywhere.
Do you want to travel east at all, or do you want to just head south? Because we could say like, oh, we travel east, you know, for several hours, and then we start traveling south.
I mean, when we're looking at traveling east, then going south, and then coming back west again, like I think we're pretty much due north of the Replin ruins right now. So I'm wondering
We
if
are.
we want to pretty much just head due south.
We can. Mm-hmm.
No, I guess if we have 30 days, we don't need to be in a rush to get to those ruins as soon as possible. We could.
Well,
Like-
we have 30 days, but there's also a giant dinosaur running around.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we are trying to do something about her before she like sucks all the life force out of the whole island. Whatever.
So I think I would consider this to be urgent.
Mm,
At least Knob would.
mm.
Um,
So maybe no east then.
all right, then we can just go straight south. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe we could try like this. If one of the mountains looks like tall, we could like try to climb the tall mountain and see like get like a vantage point of the area. You know, like we did with Griffin's Roost, that like showed us a lot of landscape. So we get a sense of like what like the coast and stuff looked like. We could plan a more efficient route and also fill in our knowledge.
So we'll plan to head south unless we see some, you know, an opportunity to gain a vantage point on a particularly tall mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like looking around, and from when you were looking atop the like where the cave was, the tallest mountains are to the east.
Oh.
Those are
East.
the tallest ones that you've seen are the ones that were like to the east. All the ones that you're traveling along now are like lower than the cave was. It looks like until you get maybe a little bit farther down south. But that's why you can't really see to the east of yourselves right now, is because like there are just these huge mountains. But you've spent like basically the whole day going down. You know, you started up high and you've come down. You know, you've been hiking for 6 hours now. It's been almost a full day, and so you spent a lot of time going down the mountain.
Okay. Nice easy walk down the mountain after that harrowing experience. Sounds fine.
Okay, so we're going south, staying in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So before we actually travel, let's have everybody go ahead and lose 3 energy from the flash flood.
Oh.
I gotta go back to the other map.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Go back to their map. Um,
Yeah, it's a good idea. I don't know if you're able to do this consistently, Matt, but having the map as a layer is really helpful.
yeah, I just thought of that. I think we'll try and keep that. We'll try and have one of the one of the layers, yeah, be just the map, so we can use our cursors. Helpful. Um, I'll
Campaign.
get George too, since you said he had to go to dinner.
And I'll get Sloan.
Oh no, I already got him.
Oh, boop, boop, boop.
I got Sloan and Lenora.
Okay, then we're good.
I'm pretty sure.
Wait,
Did
what?
I?
Sloan has like all of his energy.
Oh no, I guess I didn't get Sloan. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead and get Sloan. Never
Going
mind.
back down again. All right.
I just got Lenora and George. I was meaning to get Sloan, but I did not. All right. So how long do we want to keep going for? If we go for another 2 hours, we're at a full day hike, and you'll start to lose an energy for each hour you travel beyond that. So at 8 hours, it will. You guys start at 6 in the morning, but you leave camp at like 7. This probably took like an hour to like wait out the storm, so that's like 8 plus 8, so it's around 4 p.m. right now. You can hike till 6 p.m. without losing any more energy, and then you'll start to lose more energy.
Hiking 2 hours sounds good to me, and then we just set up camp.
Okay.
Does that sound good? Get the most use out of out of this crazy day.
And we're just leaving the canoe, just kind of washed ashore upside down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm certainly not carrying it.
Imagine who finds that story.
It's true. Probably
Goodbye,
found by
boats.
someone. It served you well.
I'm sure you can get another can of canoe the next time we're back in camp. And I promise I will never doubt that particular equipment choice again.
So you guys will travel for a couple hours, 2 more hours until it hits 6 p.m. The sun will start to set. It'll be dark by around 7 o'clock. You have about an hour of light left, and you find an area that kind of looks as good as any. It's near some water, which pretty much everything is very waterlogged right now, thanks to the flash flood. And there's like a little bit of like a cliff on either side, which offers some protection. So you feel like this is going to be a good spot for you guys. And even though there's a fire here, you can choose whether or not you're actually having a fire. But you're all soaked, so.
Yeah, I'm definitely all for making a fire.
My legs are gonna rot.
All right. Oh, go for it, Chris.
Can we dry them out if we put them close to the fire?
Well, not too close though.
No, not too close. We'll get them nice and dry. Unless you want
No,
more to
pop
have
up.
to build you some new ones.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
You did say
But,
how great of an engineer she was.
Man, I just keep getting upgrades. Yeah, I mean, I need these now. I've had these a long time, but they're pretty old. Nob points out like a few cracks here and there, some place where like maybe a woodpecker got to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk to her about that. But yeah, in the meantime, let's try these off. I'm carrying around my weight in water.
days have we been gone for?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys only had 6 days of food, so this is the last day that you will have food before you have to start finding it in the wilderness. Because I believe
Oh.
Nob brought an extra day of food, and normally you have 5.
I also brought an extra day of food.
Oh, okay, never mind. You have one more day of food.
We should probably start hunting though, or
Might be good to
fishing.
keep one day of food in reserve just in case.
Good idea.
We're somewhere near the Replins, and we're concerned that hunting their game might upset them.
Oh, are we still near the area where that giant flood happened?
You're 2 hours away from it,
Oh,
but
so
the flood,
probably not.
like, it covered a vast range of the mountain. So,
Okay.
this camp is more wet than it usually is. You can tell that this was affected by the flood.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking maybe we could be on the lookout for like freshly drowned dead animals that like the destruction of the flood has killed and washed up.
If you'd like to do that, you guys can definitely use some time and do that. What do you guys want to do? Also, hello, Jeff. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Sorry.
It's all good. Just glad you're here.
Trying to forage for any like edible plants and stuff we could add in.
You guys can do that too.
I'm adding another engineering check in order to try and understand how Kirkus's lantern works. I've been laying off on doing those, but I said I would try and do it every time we camp, so I'm keeping track of these.
Okay, cool.
And then I don't know how many we'll have to hit, but
Give me a heads up after you've got like 5 of them.
okay.
Okay, so we have some people who are going to go hunting, and we have some people who are going to go foraging. Is that what we're doing here for tonight? With an hour left of daylight.
Well, we're also on a river. We could do some fishing.
Yep, Lenora or Stella does have fishing pole.
Oh, we've only got the one fishing pole.
Sure, she would want to fish.
Yeah, she would absolutely be fishing up a storm.
All right. So Stella's going to fish. Aurora is going to
Origin.
fishers, foragers, and hunters. You know Ash is going with Louie.
Uh-oh.
You know that's
Guys, you're
happening.
gonna bring back entirely too much meat, or like
Roll for deer size.
Luther will help on that front as well. Bo's actually more of a fisherman himself. And then, actually, maybe Bo and Lenora are gonna like help get camp set up, so we don't waste any time. So they're gonna like put all the tents up and get the fire going, because you guys only have an hour of daylight left. So they'll go ahead and do that. And George will help with that too, since Brandon's not here. Okay. So fishing crew. Stella gets to do her nature check with advantage because she has a fishing pole, but then Nob, you're just gonna do a regular nature check to try and fish here. Nice advantage, Stella. Okay, so we're gonna roll. Okay, so if this formatting actually works here. It does. Oh, I didn't mean to do 10. Oh no, I did actually. Okay, so fishing score is a 10. Okay, now let's do the foraging score. You guys can all also roll a nature check, because you're kind of using perception to find the stuff, but you need to use your nature knowledge to know which stuff is actually edible. So, nature checks for Aurora, Sloan, and Kirkus. Are you guys kidding me?
Oh my!
What?
Are you guys actually kidding me?
God.
Dream
Come on,
forward.
Kirkus.
Oh, that's still so good.
It's still such a good roll.
Holy shit.
We're eating
We know all of
good.
nature.
Oh my god. Seriously.
We know it all.
Okay, so
I
this
actually live on this island.
so
Look
I'm
over
rolling a dx where x equals your guys' total. And we have 13 plus 15, so 25, so 38. But because we're 2 critical successes, I'm going to add an extra die, so we're going to roll 3d38. That one.
Holy crap.
All right. And let's get a hunting.
Four
The
gagging.
the hunting crew.
We be
Oh,
four
four
gagging.
gagging.
I'm 40.
He's four. Well, you guys are gagging on 4s with 2 of them right there. So Louis, are you guys going for animals that have perished, or are you trying to hunt animals who are still alive?
I think that this is I would like to focus on the animals that are still alive, but like if we see an animal that is perished and doesn't look too horribly mashed up.
Okay, but you're gonna kind of stay along where it looks like the flood has occurred, like staying close to like these streams that are running down the river.
Yeah, that.
And how far away from camp do you want to go? I should have asked this for the four gagging crew too.
So we've got an hour before it gets dark.
Yeah.
So maybe go no more than like 20 minutes in any one direction away from camp.
Okay, that sounds good. Good enough. Let's get. You guys can roll. Here, actually, I'm gonna make a roll here too. So if I roll a 1, okay. So with the 1, you guys are gonna find some animals pretty close by that have been injured due to the flood. You can tell that they have significant wounds on their legs, on their arms. They're kind of like hobbling through the forest. They look like this. I guess he's not totally dead yet, so we'll just do that. We'll put him in the creatures channel, and you guys can roll either nature or you can roll athletics to kind of finish off these creatures and drag them back to camp.
Wait, they look like what?
Oh, you probably can't see that, can you?
No.
There you go.
Oh,
I don't think it's in the creatures channel either.
No, yeah, I'm posting it right now.
Oh, okay.
Dilophosaurus.
I was like, am I losing my mind? I don't see this creature anywhere.
It's invisible, actually. It's going to be really hard for you guys to catch it.
I only see it because of the water dripping off.
Yep, and like a big, furry dinosaur bird-like thing.
Oh, this looks like exactly the type of thing that would be good to hunt.
Yep. So Ash is going to roll athletics, of course. Luther's going to roll nature. Okay.
I'm keeping my
Oh my god. A tie. Too good. So hunting, we're gonna roll 1d18 plus 8, 26, right? Good roll. Okay. So, fishing crew. Let's see. So, sure. So, fishing crew is going to bring back a couple of nice, sizable fish. You guys get some fish that are about a foot to 2 feet in length. Stella and Nob bring back maybe like 3 fish back to camp, which is not enough to feed the whole crew for a day. but we'll get to how many days worth of food you guys have total after this. But a pretty sizable amount, enough for at least a meal for the whole crew, but not like a full day's worth of food. Um, Having IRL dinner, yeah. And then the hunters come back, and you guys can bring back one of these beasts that looks like an adult, and then another one that looks like it's a younger um, dinosaur. So two animals that you get to bring back with you. One that is very sizable, and one that's small. They aren't like huge animals in general. They're probably about like 3.5 feet tall, but that's still a pretty good amount of chicken. Between the hunters and the fishers, we'll say that you guys have 2 days worth of food that you can gather. Um, yeah, actually, you guys rolled pretty well. Yeah, and then um, the foragers come back with like just armfuls and canvas sackfuls of you guys find this one area in the mountains with these kind of like strange looking plants that you actually have seen back at base camp, and when you pull them up, they're basically like potatoes. They're like a root type vegetable, and you find a whole patch of these things. You're bringing back like these just armfuls and sackfuls of these. They're kind of like sweet potato like vegetables, and that will be enough for uh, like 2.5 days just by itself. So we'll say that you guys all together. Actually, we'll say that you guys got like 2.5, and then they got like 1.5 between those two. So 4 days of food. You guys can add to your inventory. Although the fish and the dinosaur will have to be eaten soon, because it will go bad. So whoever wants to, maybe Aurora, you can add 2 days of food to your inventory.
Okay.
Then we'll say that you guys are just good for like today and tomorrow with the meat that you procured.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, I'll try to make some sort of like surf and turf thing with all the meat and fish that we have.
Yep. Cool. Roll a perform check, and you can do it with advantage. Like Bo will help you, or someone will help you.
Definitely got no shortage of ingredients. Uh-oh. Campaign overlay was stuck.
Yeah, it's annoying how it does that. Nice. All right.
Blue on the scroll.
Pretty
I
dang
don't
good meal.
actually interact with advantage at all.
Doesn't do anything for me.
It really doesn't.
Secret passive. Okay, you guys can enjoy a nice surf and turf dinner, eating some dinosaur, which is kind of like turkey, but even gamier. It's like chicken, and we've got like turkey, and then we've got like ostrich, and then we've got bird dinosaur, um, and some of the fish, which actually tastes great. The fish is is the key here, and that's going to take you guys a little bit of time to kind of round up all these things, cook some dinner, get camp set up. So you're going to be a little bit behind schedule. We'll say that the first watch can actually start happening at 9 o'clock p.m. instead of 8 p.m. And I meant to do this actually on the day tracking thing. Actually, I'm going to write it in. No, I'll write it on the day tracking. Um, it's 2-hour shifts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna write on the day tracking doc, just so I can remember what the watches are. 2 to 4, 4 to 6. I remember 4 to 6 is Aurora and George. And I think the one before that is the NPCs. Um, First watch is
Lenora and
Stella.
Stella. Then it's Nob and Kirkus. And then Louis and Sloan.
Cool. Louis and Sloan. That's a watch.
Or not. Yeah, Louis Sloan. That's
Okay,
right.
cool.
That's right.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Anything else you guys are doing before bedtime?
Um,
How are the bugs?
Actually, thank you for reminding me.
Wait, oh no, we're camping by the river.
I mean, the
it's all wetlands right
It's
now.
all wetlands.
yeah, it's pretty much all river right now. You're also coming down from the mountains a little bit. You're not as high as you were before. So yes, the bugs are. You're like more aware, or like you're trying to pay more attention to them than you were before, and you do notice that there are bugs around here, and they're trying to bite you. You guys are slapping at them, trying to kill them as you're sitting around the fire. Seems like the smoke kind of deters them a little bit as you're out hunting and foraging and gathering. But you are all going to have to make a health roll, which is that first quest macro. Um, so I'll do it
Thank
for
God.
Lenora. And
Not this time.
not this
Health
time.
roll.
Nob is safe this time.
Oh no!
Oh no.
All right.
Where's that health roll?
In the campaign macros, the one that has a 1 on it that looks like a little compass, that's the health roll. So you click on yourself and then click health roll. Let's see. Jeff got dinner, so I'll do it for Sloan.
2's good, right?
It's
The
just
red
as good
failure.
as
It's
as a 9.
it's a 1d2, right?
Right. Yeah. So anything else you guys are doing before bed? Because this will happen in the morning.
Man, is it too late to try to invent mosquito netting?
You don't have any with you right now. You got to talk to the research team about, or talk to Dardanos about maybe getting some of that as part of the supplies.
Oh yeah. I asked for
Nice.
insecticide if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you
We're
asked for
killing
bug-
all these bugs.
Nice smoky fire inside every tent, no downside.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to roll it for the NPCs too.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So what we're going to say is if they are sick, then their passive will be usable, but their active will not be.
Okay.
Oh no. You should
So-
really tell them to not get sick.
Oh yeah, I can because I made a nighttime map. We got to show off the nighttime map. It's a nice full moon. A little bit buggy, but again, it's better near the fire. You guys enjoy your dinner, and you're all completely exhausted from the events of today, hiking down this mountain. All the deliberation about what to do about Xanalex and from the flash flood. And you spend a nice night at the campsite, and the next morning, Kirkus, Bo, and Ash are all feeling very sick. So you guys can go ahead and do the normal rest, and then Kirkus, you will lose 1 energy at the start of the day. I can do the rests for these people, I think. Let's see. Stella
Oh
overlay.
man, so how many people are sick?
3.
1, 2.
These
We
3.
have 5 doses.
Oh, only failures. Okay.
Yep, only failures. Yep.
Only failures.
Ugh. Oh, that's right. We have some antidote.
You do. So yeah. So they all 3 of them are feeling sick, pain in the joints, feverish, headache, and just from your guys' experience, you figure that this is the jungle fever,
Jungle fever.
the jungle sickness. So you can use 3 of your antidotes if you want to do that, or you can wait.
I mean, we don't want people sick.
Yeah, unless anyone like disagrees, I'll hand out my 3 vials of antidote that I have to those that are feeling bad.
We should probably do that.
Gotta see how well they work, you know?
Yeah, hopefully this eases you up. I'll sort of help like administer it as well. Make sure it doesn't.
Okay, yeah. It's just a tiny little vial. It's not a whole lot of liquid. You can down it, just like a little tablespoon of cough syrup. And from you guys know that it doesn't take effect immediately. It's going to take a day to make you guys feel completely better.
Oh, you guys gotta take it easy today.
I don't know if we have that luxury. We got big plans. I might not feel the best, but we still have to press forward.
We're looking at our map. Do we have any idea where we are now after 2 hours of traveling south?
Roughly the same spot. Nothing too drastically different.
Oh, okay. Well then, we better get moving if we want to make ground.
Yeah, I mean, just from what you guys know about the island and how far away you are, it's gonna take you another, I think, at least a full day to get to the Replands. Like if you get there today, it will be at nightfall, and who knows if you can even get there today. It depends on how the terrain through these mountains are, because the mountains are obviously tougher to traverse than flat ground. So we're just gonna keep heading south.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you're still staying kind of like up as high as you are in the mountains, as long as it's reasonable to do so. You're not like
Yeah.
coming down yet.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Especially as after having another encounter with the mosquitoes.
Okay. You guys will make your way through the mountains. It's a tough trek, because there are no trails, there are no paths. It is just uncharted, mountainous terrain, and you're traveling as fast as you can, but it's taking a while, especially with a few members feeling a little bit sick. You've kind of got to go up and over some hills, and you got to go down, and you got to go up. It's not just like this one giant mountain that you're traveling across. It's a range of mountains, and you're trying to take the most efficient routes that you can. but it's a tiring process, and it's going to take some time. And I actually want to get um, a nature check from whoever's going to be like the primary guide for today, kind of like choosing what paths you guys are taking to try and get the most efficient route.
I think I can do that.
All right, get it, Sloan.
Okay.
All right,
That's
yeah.
fine.
So yeah, it seems like most of Sloan's decisions are working out for you guys. You don't come across anything too treacherous, nothing too daunting or grueling. You don't have to scale any cliff sides, but it takes a while. It's hard. It's hard hiking, and you see that the sun is about to set, and you guys are find my map here. Um, and you guys are traveling through the mountainside. You've probably made your way like you're just a few hours from where you think the river will be, the other side of the river that you haven't seen yet. Um, but as you're traveling, you look up to the mountains that are to the east. They're a little bit taller there than where you guys are right now. These mountains aren't like faraway mountains to the east. It's like part of like the same mountain range. Clearly, maybe just a mile, maybe a little bit more up, and you can see stone structures. It's kind of hard to see exactly what,
Oh.
but there are definitely non-mountainous things up there,
Oh.
kind of peeking their way from the trees on the mountainside. And it's not incredibly high up either. It's just like, you guys are still pretty high up traveling on these mountains. So maybe just a half mile, if you go just a little bit down and then come up another hill, you can just see stone structures peeking their little faces out from the trees.
Well, I know that we desperately need to race to the Replin to figure out what to do about this dinosaur. But there are stone structures up on that mountain. There could be anything in it. There could be treasure. There could be
These?
something else valuable. I think we should go up there.
Well, let's ask our people who are not feeling too well if they're all right with going up there.
I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me.
Yeah. Not feeling the best, but I can certainly manage a climb. Maybe this will have something to help us with our Replin encounter as well.
It's true. We have some things to try and convince the Replins, but maybe we can find some more.
Mm-hmm. Any more information that we can get about them would be great. I still feel like we're walking into this a bit blind, but I mean, as Kirkus said earlier, we need to hurry, so I think we can check these out, but then we should get to the camp.
Okay, and it's getting dark. It's like 6 p.m. right now, because you guys have been hiking like all day. So you figured that like it will be like the sun will have it started to set already, so it'll be decently dark when you guys get there. Not completely dark, but
Can I get a little caught up to speed a little bit on where we are and what we're doing?
We managed to secure ourselves on the mountain during the torrential downpour.
Yep.
And we decided, we're going to the Replin camp to try and learn more about the robot, because the robot was tied to the story of Xanalex. and we're trying to figure out how the hell to stop Xanalex.
Were you here,
Okay.
Jeff, when we summoned Xanalex?
No, because
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I wasn't here
Oh,
last
yeah, that
week,
was all the same.
and I haven't been here until
Okay,
about
so
now.
we summoned Xanalex. Xanalex made a deal with George,
Hmm.
and we all, except for George, lost power and or max health, energy, and power. And
Ah.
George gained some power and energy
Uh-huh.
and max health, and so did Xanalex. So
Uh-huh.
there was a power exchange. Some of us
Okay.
got really mad and skeptical of George because of that. Um, and but we're trying to put our faith in George as being a good teammate. And as we were up there camping, uh, we so not only did we summon Xanalex, but we found on the wall a story of Xanalex and another creature of similar size and power,
Hmm.
who was known as the Light Eater or Light Devourer. What was it?
The light purger,
Light
Cathax.
Purger. Yeah. Um. So that creature beat Xanalex, and that's why we think we found Xanalex's corpse.
Mm.
And not Xanalex herself.
Okay.
And so we're trying to put the puzzle pieces together, and one of those puzzle pieces was the same robot we found uh, uh, drawings of. There were
Hmm.
drawings as well with Xanalex and Califax.
Okay.
Um,
So the robot is not the light purger.
no, the robot is tied to either the summoning or um, the war between those two creatures. And
Okay.
we know the head of the robot is with the Replins, so
Yeah.
that's where
So
we're
that's
going.
why we're going.
And we have some ideas as to how we're going to try and interact with those Replins, mainly the drawings that we found up there. If we show that we're interested or we're non-hostile towards their faith in the robot, by showing them pictures and saying, hey, we think this is cool, we think this is great, we're hoping that we can somehow um, earn a parlay or some
Hmm.
way to be able to communicate with them, although we don't really know their language. um, but we think we have some tools to at least pacify an interaction with them, and perhaps we could find more up in these ruins, because these Replins seem to have some influence on multiple areas on the island, so I wouldn't be surprised if we found something up there.
Okay.
And then hopefully, Sloan also knows Gob, which when we first heard of them, like we first heard them talk, they have a somewhat vaguely related language to Gob, and maybe we can leverage
Yeah.
that as well.
We can try.
We
Okay.
also, before we descended the mountain, we also wrote a letter to Dardanos about what had happened, and we used careful language
Uh-huh.
to not. So we kind of we skewed the truth.
Make it sound less bad than it
Yeah,
is.
make it sound less bad than it is about the summoning of Xanalex. We said Xanalex was too powerful, and we couldn't stop the ritual. We didn't say anything about us feeling too weak to pursue, and then we said that we had to keep trailing Xanalex and figure out a way to stop her, and we didn't mention that we were going to directly go and talk to the Replins, because Dardanos told us not to talk to them unless we get permission from him first. But
Okay.
we didn't want to wait for that.
Yeah.
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 So we are jumping the gun on trying to stop this dinosaur and ahead of its potential destruction of the entire island, including our camp. What was I going to say? Matt, you mentioned something about linguistics to me the other day about being able to learn a language.
So we can say that you know the both of the languages that you wanted to know.
Okay.
And if you want to put other points in linguistics in the future, then you can learn other languages that have been well established. Obviously not like, unless you get something from the Replans that's like a handbook on their language, you can't learn, the Replan language, but you can learn another language that you would
Right.
have information about.
Because I do currently have 3 points in linguistics. So I think I am eligible to learn a language, and I'm curious what that would be allowed to be, because we are dealing with potential elder speak, and I was curious whether I could learn that or not.
Um,
Because there was elders, what we thought might have been elder speak written amongst those drawings, if I'm remembering correctly.
that's fine. We can say that you'll like kind of start to study Elder Speak, and over the next week you'll learn it fully, but you've started your study on Elder Speak.
Cool. Okay, cool. So it's in process.
Yeah, it won't be like an instantaneous thing when you learn a new language, but like you've got some textbooks on Elder Speak, and you're starting to make your way through them. And it'll of course be a lot faster than you or I could learn French. We couldn't do that in 8 years of high school, middle school.
I could. That's for damn sure.
But Knob will take just like 2 weeks to learn the language.
Okay, cool. I think
Okay.
that's pretty much it, Jeff. Yeah.
Okay, yes, I do know what we're doing. For better or worse, I know what the plan is.
Yeah, and also just for you guys' information, you expect to hear back from Dardanos after like 3 days. So today, you sent the letter to him yesterday. So this is like the first, or yesterday would have been the first full day of the letter. This is the second full day of the letter. So you would expect to hear from him sometime tomorrow, probably near the end of the day. A response back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are. You're in the hills. You can see kind of up this way. You might have to zoom out to even see my pointer, but I'm over here. That there's some stone structures.
Yeah, I did have to zoom out. Yep. Okay.
So you can decide to try and get closer or camp, whatever you want. The sun is beginning to set. 6 p.m.
I feel like we probably wouldn't want to interrupt their ritual that they do at night. That seems like an ill-advised time to contact them. Although that is a time when we know where all of them are, so they can't sneak up on us.
Well, these ruins, I don't think we even know if there's anyone here.
Does this
Oh,
correspond to any of the spots where we saw lights from the mountaintop, though?
It is not.
Okay, so we don't necessarily
Okay.
we don't know if this place is inhabited, but we don't know for certain that it is.
Right. Yeah,
I'm
you've
gonna have
never
trouble,
come across this before.
I'm gonna have trouble sleeping if I don't know what is over there.
No, not that you see. Nope. This is the spot kind of away from the ruins.
I don't think there's harm in that, especially when it will let some among us rest a bit easier.
Okay, so everybody should actually lose 1 energy for hiking all day. And then if we're deciding to continue on, we'll lose another energy for hiking, this hour up to maybe a better vantage point or directly towards the ruins. Are you guys are you just beelining it for the ruins? Do you want to try and get somewhere where you can see it from farther away? What's the plan?
So right now we're not at the ruins, but we're very close to them.
Yeah, they look like they're maybe 20 to 30 minutes away, but you can and you can't see the whole ruins because it's very jungly and dense forest. You just see some kind of some stone as you peer through the trees, and you can see a little stone roofs, pointed roofs, kind of like the towers that you've seen before, poking out of the treetops. So you can't even see how extensive these ruins are. It might just be a tower or two. It might be more. It's just hard to see from you guys, from where you guys are.
Well, look. So basically, one option is to just set up camp right here. The other option is to go up and investigate the ruins before we. The upside of that is that if the ruins are not dangerous, we can sleep in them instead of sleeping outdoors, which would be really nice. The downside of that is that if there's something dangerous in there, we have to fight it. Right now, while we're all tired, dark.
Given our experience with the spider that was waiting in the last set of ruins we walked into, maybe we should just take a peek and not actually try and go in there, but make sure there's nothing there that's gonna come after us in the night.
So we all keep hiking towards the ruins, but then we have whoever's the most stealthy among us try and sneak a little bit closer and give us a report on whether we should go in or back off.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Sounds good to me.
I agree.
All right, so we can all lose another energy.
Yep. And
I meant to check about this earlier, although it doesn't really affect this. If we have something like this where we need to lose one energy, and there's someone in the party who cannot lose one energy, I assume we just can't do it, or at least they can't do it. Or is it just you
Oh,
can't?
do they suffer damage or something?
Yeah, I was wondering what happens, just because, especially since George 2-star maximum energy pool, although he now has more maximum energy, but for some people, it's now going to be much more possible for them to run completely out, and then maybe not be able to do a big hike.
Yeah,
I don't know what the rules are.
if you don't have energy to spend, we'll just say that you will just have to stop. If you guys want to hike 2 more hours tonight, after another hour, Sloan is going to be like, I'm too tired. I can't hike for another hour.
Okay.
I need to rest.
I wanted to check before it.
Before it came up.
Yep.
Good idea.
Yep. Okay, so how close is the party as a whole getting versus whoever is going in and looking, stealthing in? Or is the whole party stealthing close?
That's a risky prospect. I think
Me
that
stealth?
if anyone else is staying back, Aurora will also stay back.
I'm definitely staying back.
Then yeah. I'll separate, I guess. So left is not sneak, right is sneak. Our numbers grow.
I mean, I'm fine to go in for it. I just feel like I should probably do it. I've got the best eyes. Just thinking the less of us are there, the more conspicuous we are. I think our competition will have to wait on this one, Louis. I think you should hang back.
I agree. I'm not the stealthy.
If as long as Ash can lead the way in the dark, probably best not to have a shining light go either.
I think this is a good set. We don't need more than this. We're just gonna take a peek and if we don't see anything there, then we can try and camp in the ruins and sleep a little bit more comfortably.
Okay. So this party gets, kind of close, and then the other party is going to stealth up. So let's do this. We're going to reveal some fog. You scroll up, kind of to the right and a little bit up. There should be a point of fog revealed now. Kind of like switching perspectives a little bit. You guys coming up from this way. I know it doesn't exactly make sense with how the maps are oriented right now. Sorry about that. And let's get a stealth roll for all of you guys.
Oh, are we in the mountains?
We are in the mountains.
I will use my my once a day.
How do you guys feel about Stella using her once a day for this, or do you want her to save it?
I think Carlson would use it.
Yeah.
Because she also has mountains, so.
Honestly, Carlson might have used it on the fishing.
He might have, actually.
Yeah, but we better make sure he doesn't have it. That's all that matters. If he finds out we didn't use it, he's gonna be mad.
All right. Pretty good around. Yeah, across the board, 9, 9, and 11. So you guys, you have to hike up a little bit. It's not a huge hike, but making your way through the underbrush, the sun gets lower and lower on the horizon. It was a full moon last night, so the moon is waning just a little bit now, but it's still very bright out. So Stella and Sloan, you can still see pretty good, and Ash kind of helps you with that as well, since he has basically night vision. And you come to a part where it levels out, where you saw these structures before, and looking out across the jungle, you peer through the trees, pulling some brushes away, and you're on this small little cliff, and you see I'm going to reveal the map now, large area of ruins with one mighty stone structure in the center with a glowing green gem at the top.
Wait.
Hello?
And the camp is lit by torches,
Wait.
and you see Replins. They're not moving. It looks like they're almost like kind of standing at guard across the temple. The only ones that are moving are these two here in at the front. They're kind of like pacing back and forth a little bit, and they kind of come together, and you can hear them just make some noises. It's a little bit far to make out right now, but then you see those two towers whose little tips were peeking out of the jungle that you saw before.
I guess. I was realizing that I'm the only person who can speak.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
I certainly don't think we'll be sleeping in these ruins. I stand by what I said earlier. If the nighttime is when the Replins perform whatever ceremonies they perform, I don't think it would be good for us to intrude at that time. We'd probably be much better served approaching them during the day.
Okay. Should we go tell the others about this, or should we wait around for a little while?
Let's watch for maybe 10 minutes or so. Just get an idea, see if any of them leave or come back to this spot. If they're traveling around in the surrounding area, then we may we'll probably be safe where everyone else stopped, but we don't want to get any closer, because just like we don't want to find them, approach them in the night, we probably don't want them to find us like that either. So yeah, we can watch for 10 minutes from our spot and just Mostly looking to see if there are groups of Replans coming in and out of here.
Okay. You spend maybe about like 7 minutes watching,
Mm-hmm.
and then you do see a group of Replans exit the main hall here,
Mm-hmm.
and they make their way down the stairs and they get to the front here. You can hear um, and you can roll a perception check, Sloan, to see if you can make out some of what they're saying to each other. Um, roll linguistics check.
Oh. Oh. Wait. Which one is linguistics? Oh, it's the book. I thought it was going to be the speech bubbles. Oh.
Diplomacy. Um, you can kind of hear them. It's like just loud enough where you can hear noises are being made, but you can't really
Yeah.
make out what they're saying. And they'll just like stop really, really quick, make a few noises, and then you actually see them leave the camp. And it looks like they're beginning to head their way down the mountain in the general direction of where your party is.
Mm-hmm. Well, that answers our question. We should probably start moving back, but we'll have to be careful not to run into that group as we make our way down. And hopefully they just aren't headed towards us. Or the rest of us.
All right, let's go. You guys can scurry down. Take you just a couple minutes to get to where the rest of the group is.
Okay.
And roll another perception check. And you can do it with advantage because Ash and Stella are also kind of keeping an ear out. So you can hear some movement through the jungle, which you assume is this party of, there was 10 of them, 10 Replans altogether. And you can hear them making their way through the jungle. It sounds like they're heading a little bit more west of you, not going in like your exact direction. But up until like just about when you get to the party, you could still like hear some noises in the jungle, just a couple 100 yards away.
All right. Definitely gonna tell the group what we saw. And tell them about this big group that is now out in the woods and that maybe they can hear as well. And say, I think it would be very bad if we and the Replans ran into each other. We might want to make our way back down the mountain just a little bit before we set up our camp.
Yes, I suppose that sounds like a good idea. Can rest up, be ready to make contact tomorrow.
Yes, our hopes for contact with them are already so tenuous. I don't want to jeopardize it by meeting under unauspicious circumstances.
Did Sloan describe the thingy, the big gem?
Yeah, yes. Big
Okay.
temple with a big gem. And
Yeah.
let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8 Replans, seeming to be on guard, and then a group of 10 that left from the temple and headed out into the woods.
When we were looking at those pictures on the wall of that cave with the dinosaur, a lot of them showed a big gem, and it seemed to indicate that it was now in a mountain. I almost wonder if we've just by chance come across its location.
Oh, you're right. The thing on top of the mountain.
Sloan, when he's telling them about them, he can definitely say that the architecture matches what they've seen elsewhere. Like, these towers look very similar to the ones where we fought the spider, and also at that bridge crossing, the first time we met the Replans. This smaller building, we've seen buildings like that elsewhere as well. So this does seem to still be constructed by the same groups that built the other structures we've seen.
Okay, as you guys are walking and talking, how long are we traveling before we stop to camp? Like, how far away from this place are we going?
Oh, I don't want to go too far because well, Sloan is very tired.
But yes, Sloan has an hour max left in him, so an hour is your maximum, unless someone's going to
Yeah,
carry Sloan.
and I don't think I want to do an hour because then I'd be out of gas, and that could be very bad. So maybe just like half hour or something. Or I don't know. It could be as little as like 15 minutes. Just go down the mountain and try and find a secluded spot to make our camp at. And then we pray that Replans don't come that way as well.
So, how do people feel about 15 minutes?
Seems good.
Okay. We shall do just that. 15 minutes. You guys travel, making your way kind of across the mountain, away from the ruins, and find a little flat piece of land that has cliffs on almost every side of it. Looks like a pretty secluded space. Oh, did I actually put you guys in the background? I did. And there you go. And then it will be about 7 p.m. The sun has set. It is dark. Actually, a little bit after, like 7:30. So if you guys want to get back to your regular schedule, you have to go to bed in half an hour. Everybody except for first watch.
And
So
we still haven't had dinner, have we?
exactly. So the question is, if you want to use up the rest of the meat that you had, you'll have to make fire. So do you want to make a fire and eat that for dinner, or do you want to sacrifice one of the day's food and eat just the potatoes?
Yeah.
Couldn't. Mm-mm. Does this mean we're gonna lose the meat? It's gonna go bad.
Yep, it's gonna go bad. You have to eat it tonight, otherwise it'll go bad.
I think we should probably eat. Like, we're low on food.
Around, they think they spotted us when they came. So if we're not, now that we know we're somewhat close to them, I feel like making those light sources is not what we want to be doing at this time.
Kirkus is right. If we light a fire here, we'll have the Replans and anything else in the jungle coming after smelling that meat.
We gotta get Dardanos to ask for a blowtorch or something. We need some way to cook food without drawing attention to ourselves. Maybe a magical pot. I don't know. I'll ask him. I'll write that one down.
I think the research team, these are all good questions for them.
Okay, so we're eating sweet potatoes for dinner. They're like sweet potatoes, but like the consistency is actually more like an apple, and you don't actually have to like cook it in order to eat it. It's like an apple that kind of tastes like a sweet potato that grows in the dirt. You can certainly eat that within half an hour. So you could still get on track for 8 p.m. Night watches, unless there's any addendums we want to do to the night watch tonight, or if we want to stay up later or do anything. But we'll say that you guys, you're all hungry from the day. You eat some taters. Go ahead and mark off one of those days of taters gone from you, Aurora, and then the meat day is also gone. So I think we have one day of taters left, and then 1 day of packed food. I think is what we're working with now. Okay. And it's 8 p.m. So again, unless there's something you guys want to do, night watches will start as normal.
Yeah, I think regular night watch schedule just get us through the night so we can hike up there in the morning.
Or make sure you get all of our notes together, all the drawings of the robots. I've got my card here. We gotta use everything at our disposal. We're gonna try and make this a non-confrontational encounter.
Okay. We're going to bed. Sloan, why don't you, with advantage for me, roll a. You can do a nature check or a stealth check to try and put these tents, in places where they're more well obscured and hidden.
Okay.
Because I assume that you guys are, trying to be a little bit more careful about that tonight
Yeah.
than the other nights. And you can have some help from like Luther. Luther will kind of help you scout out the area and decide where to put these tents.
Alright.
Okay. Okay. So we'll go on watches as normal. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, everybody find a tent. Hopefully there are enough tents for. There might only be 10 tents. Which means Luther and Bo can share this big one.
10 tents.
10.
Yeah, you know that Naruto character, 10
Mhm.
Oh
tents?
yeah.
Yeah, 10 tents. Okay.
Intense.
Aurora and George, where are you on your watch? It gets to 4 a.m. The NPCs, Luther, Bo, and Ash tag out, and you guys are on watch. Where are you located?
Oh, why our watch, Matt?
I
Why
was-
our watch?
I don't
There's
make the-
so
I don't make
many
the-
other watches.
I was gone for a minute. Which direction is the Replin ruins in?
Northwest, so kind of up here.
Yeah, I think Aurora should watch here, and I'll watch the other side, just so we get everything covered.
Yeah, I mean, Aurora definitely wants to like kind of. I'm gonna kind of like tuck in between like George's tent and this really thick tree.
There's
And
probably like a
try to,
high
like-
point up here.
Stay out of sight, but like watch this area and kind of like sweeping some like south as well.
Okay, so yeah, so Aurora's kind of covering like this, and
Yeah.
George, you're like over like here. This is like cliffs, basically.
Okay. Is there
Cliff's
cliffs
actually
here?
sleeping over there.
This is more of a flat path. It looks like it goes through the mountains a little
Okay,
bit.
I'll go like on a high point up here, watching like this. Then
Okay, sounds good. Okay, Are either of you using a light source?
No.
No.
Okay.
Not since we've
So
heard that there's replins in the area.
it gets to about 5 a.m. So the sun is not up, but it's beginning to rise. But it's still very, very dark. And let's get a perception check from Aurora and George, both of you.
Man, you think I know what these look like by now, but I don't.
Perception.
The eye.
Okay. Um, Aurora, you start to hear, you don't see, but you hear movement in the jungle towards the west, maybe 100 yards out. And you wait just like a second, maybe 10 seconds, and it sounds like it's getting louder. It sounds like it's coming towards you.
How big does this sound seem?
Tough to say. Enough to make the trees and bushes kind of like move, but not enough to like shake the earth.
Okay.
Just hear some like rustlings.
Um, I'd like to try and pick up like a small stone and like throw. So I'm hearing it like due west, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit over south.
Okay. It looks like there's maybe fewer trees up here.
Mhm.
I want to try to throw the stone kind of like northwest, like far enough away from us that I think it's like either like I basically want to try to throw it as far as I can, hopefully trying to get it like further than I think the sound is.
Okay, you can roll an athletics check to throw the stone.
Oh boy.
Voom! And it hits some trees. Doesn't go terribly far. Maybe 70, 75 feet away from you, and crashes through the jungle. And you hear the other noise stop for a second. Everything's quiet. And then you hear the noise again, and it seems like it's making its way towards the stone.
Towards the stone.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna look at where the stone was. I'm gonna look to see if I can spot whatever it is, knowing that like now I pretty much know where it's headed. I'll be looking for like any breaks in the trees between where the noise is and where the stone is.
Okay. Um, it's pretty dark. Stone's, good 75 feet away from you, and there are trees there. There's not as many as you mentioned before. Roll another perception check. Nothing. You hear you hear noise go up to the stone, and then fade again, and then everything is silent.
But it doesn't. So the sound is not like coming towards us now.
Nope, you don't hear anything.
Okay.
Just kind of waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if I hear any other sounds.
Okay. And as you're waiting, waiting for about another minute and a half, not 90 seconds, 100 seconds about, and then you see a creature step out of the forest and onto the ground where your camp is. And even in the moonlight, you can tell that it is a Replin. And as they walk across the jungle floor, they're making hardly a sound.
Our camp is not particularly hidden, is it?
It's, I mean, the colors of your tents match the natural environment very, very well. And there are some like trees and like some shrubs that are blocking it. Sloane and Luther did their best to put your tents in a formation that is not immediately obvious, and it is dark, and you don't see any light source that the Riplins have.
Okay.
You're not sure of their ability to see in the night, of course.
I will sort of with my outfit that has a lot of white and red. I'm gonna like back into George's tent and like try to like peek out of the flap to like keep an eye on them.
Okay, roll a stealth
wanna-
check for trying to peek without being seen.
Oh boy.
Okay, Aurora is peeking. And you see a group, 10 Riplins, enter camp. Walking slowly, weapons in hand. You can see that they have both their arms on the axes. The spears are out, pointed in front of them. They're kind of surveying the land, and arrows are drawn and ready in these archers' bows.
Okay.
Gonna go ahead and and make their way. And then, as they're making their way down, it's a Replin right here. He turns and you can see him look like kind of directly at your tent and kind of put his head forward a little bit and stop and stare kind of through these trees in your direction. Do you keep looking? Do you close the tent? What do you do?
I think I'm going to try to like as quietly and like as slowly as possible, like withdraw further into the tent or close the flap, and like close the flap.
Okay.
No sudden movements.
Okay. So you close the flap, losing sight of the Replins. And roll a perception check for listening. You don't hear them getting any closer to you, although they do appear to be fairly stealthy.
Okay.
George,
Yeah.
another perception check for you, my boy.
Okay.
Okay. George, now you hear something. You hear
Hmm.
crack of a twig. And looking behind you, you see a group of Replins in the middle of your camp, appearing to make their way north through this path.
Hey.
And
Um.
weapons drawn, surveying the area. Kind of looking around, as they're walking.
I'm pretty well hidden. Let's pretend I'm behind. I'm like gonna walk behind a tree real slowly, far
Go ahead.
enough away. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, but stealth.
Go ahead. Roll stealth check.
And I will keep observing them behind the tree to make sure that they do not come anywhere near here or here. And if they do, I have an action. I'll put a stop.
All right. Putting a stop on their movement step.
Yep.
All right. It's going to be a disadvantage because you are kind of high up, blocked by these trees and blocked by these cliffs. So they get to here, and this Riplin in the front like looks up and looks towards your tree and stops moving, and he puts up a hand, and the whole group stops. And he's looking towards the tree that you're behind. Do you have any actions in response?
Say that again. Sorry.
He's stopped, and he's looking at you, and he's put up his hand, and the whole group has stopped.
Which
And
one?
This one in front is just looking
He's-
directly at the tree that you're behind.
No response. Just that one behind the tree, not even looking.
Okay. You're gonna hear some scramblings of a Replin trying to climb this cliff. You hear some scramblings.
All right. As he's getting closer, George is going to throw down his staff and his cape and get it down on all fours and try to act like a normal bunny. Not leaving the tree, but just like kind of like digging.
Okay. So this is cat. Okay, sounds good. Roll. You can roll either a nature knowledge or a performance check.
Mm,
Oh my god.
Being naked is the best disguise.
Oh my god. He's a natural.
What? Excuse me?
He comes up and
No.
he sees George. He sees George digging, and like observes him for a little bit, and kind of grips his axe tight. George looking up at him, and he squints his eyes, and actually gets like up real close to you, and looking around. Are you gonna keep digging? Are you gonna try and do something else?
As the warrior gets close, George stops digging, looks at it, and tries to hop away on all fours.
Okay. All right. So you begin to hop away, and the Replin doesn't make any noise. You just hear this noise behind you, and a throwing axe
Oh.
goes into the ground and kind of nicks your leg as you're running away. And looking behind you, you see the Replin go up and pick up the axe, kind of peer its head over the jungle, and then make its way back down the mountain. George is like off over here at this point. And I'm gonna say that you're so far away that you don't see what happens with the rest of the Replins. But after just a minute, you can make your way back to your post, and you don't see them.
Okay.
Would you like to?
George puts
do
his cape
anything.
on, gets his staff.
Mhm.
What is it starting to be daylight now? It's like
It's about 5 in the morning, so you've
5
still
in
got
the morning.
still got a little bit of time.
George will attempt to sneakily, very slowly, go all the way back to where he believes Aurora's was stationed and try to quietly look for her.
Okay, you can roll a stealth check. All right, you're back at the tent where you thought Aurora was. Aurora, it's been a few minutes now, and you haven't heard anything.
Yeah, if I haven't heard anything for a few minutes, then I would like to sort of like poke my head out to look for them. And if I don't see any, then I'd like to go outside.
Yep,
Back to
you
my
don't see
original
anybody.
watch.
You come outside and you see George approaching you.
Aurora, did you see that?
Yes, I saw the Replins passing through camp, but they spotted me and I had to hide in your tent to not be discovered. Did you see them?
Oh, I'm glad you're safe. Yeah, they barely passed through me.
You,
I,
you look like you've been wounded. Did they find you?
oh, no, I just tripped on my way down. They didn't see anything. Very sneakily at hiding.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad they passed through. We were gonna have a very rocky first encounter with them.
Yeah, I was very scared that we'd have to fight them, but it looks like they went through unnoticed. I don't think we have to wake the others. We can just tell them in the morning.
Agreed. I'll admit I almost woke Sloan and Louis when I first saw them, but decided to wait and see, and I'm glad that I did.
Yes. I'm glad you're safe, Aurora. Now let's get some sleep.
Wait. Wait, hold on.
All right, so after an hour, the rest of the crew will arise, and then after another hour, your camp can be. Well, I guess I don't actually know. Are you guys packing up? I guess is the question. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun is starting to rise.
I mean,
You got to choose what you're doing for today.
we've reached the Replin camp. I have to go. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that is the plan, isn't it? We're gonna just go talk to them. And I don't know. Does that mean we pack up our camp? Um,
So last night there was a patrol. I think about 10 Replins walked right through here.
Hey, you guys can all do the normal rest, by the way.
Happened around 5 a.m. Aurora and I did not engage, and I don't think they noticed we were here.
well, you guys
Uh,
did the right thing by not engaging them.
roll. We roll regular sleep.
Yep, regular sleep.
Nice.
Is regular sleep is not full sleep, right?
Right. Yeah, it's like the half bar. So what, you're just gonna go up and talk to these guys, even though Dardanos told us not to? I mean, I'm honestly all for it. It's just this is gonna be on you guys for that decision.
I think this falls under the umbrella of the officer in the field knows what's going on the ground, needs to be able to make decisions. Um, when they when they can't uh contact the superiors. Can't just be sitting around waiting for orders to get back when things are happening around you. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Wait a whole week for that bird to fly back and forth while that dinosaur goes and does whatever it wants all over the island?
Exactly. I mean, let everyone know that my vote is for, of course, wait for Dardanos. I mean, Off the record, I'm with Louis all the way.
I think, unfortunately, we've put ourselves in a situation where we don't have a choice but to go against Dardanos' orders. Uh, we're gonna try and resolve this without. We're going to go against his orders so that he doesn't know that we went even more against his orders. If we can
Kind of
resolve,
works out.
if we can resolve the Xanalex situation before he finds out about it without us telling him, that would be better. As I understand it, that's what we're trying to do.
We told him a bit about it, but it's more, before he discovers the true depths of what happened. So, I think we should. I think we should move forward and meet with the Replans. We talked a bit about this earlier, and I still agree that we can't afford to wait for Dardanos when our next step is heedless of whatever he says in his letter. His letter says to not make contact with the Replans. We're hardly going to just pack up and go back to camp and start from square one, right? Even if he forbids us from doing this, we have to do it.
Exactly. And anyways, the Replans made contact with us, so nothing we could have done about it. All right, Aurora, you got those drawings ready?
Yep. Have the drawings of the creatures and symbols from the cave wall. Could perhaps draw up some copies for other folks. I know I'd like to make at least one copy just in case things go poorly with the Replans. I don't want to lose our record of these images.
All right, so we prepare all our materials, and I try my best to speak to them so that they can understand me. And we try and convince them that we want to cooperate with them.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We want to cooperate with them, and that we don't like the dinosaur. And we want to help find the dragon that can defeat it. Although they may not know that Xanalax is free yet. It's only been a couple of days. And she went, I believe, towards the coast, towards this side of the mountain.
If Sloan communicates what we're talking about in Gob, my guess is they'll be able to pick up some of it.
Hopefully.
So we're not completely out of the water here. I mean, we do have some means of probably basic communication.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we all walk in with our hands raised up, they're probably going to assume we're not hostile. I don't know what we want to do with weapons.
Leaving our weapons here would make us more convincing as ambassadors, but
We should
also make
not
us
leave our weapons here.
would make us much more convincing targets as well. Yes.
Yes, I think unfortunately we have to walk in armed, but show that our intent is not to fight.
Hmm. Matt, you were going. I think just during this.
Mhm.
I want to try to make a copy of my copy of the wall etchings, so that if something bad happens in the camp, we won't lose like our only record of the etchings.
Okay. Make a perform check.
All right. Good job, my character. There we go.
Easy enough. Pretty much an exact copy.
We should
Thank God.
have a nearby location to meet at if for whatever reason we get separated. I don't know what the Replins are going to have in mind, but it's always good to have an out plan. A plan to recuperate if we get separated for whatever reason.
Maybe we just plan to meet here if that happens.
Well, they know this spot, right?
Um, from our interactions last night, it seems like they found this place to be a bit odd, but other than some hunches, I don't think they would have too much reason to look into it.
Okay, well, we can come back here. We're a diverse group, and I don't know if they're gonna accept any of us. I don't know if they're gonna accept all of us.
Mm-hmm. They only want to deal with some of us, then I suppose we'll just have to make do. They certainly outnumber us regardless, so hopefully they'll be okay with all of us entering. I think maybe we should have Lord Sloan and maybe you leading. I think Lord Sloan is our translator, and I think you may be the uh, friendliest face to them.
Yeah.
Traveling merchant who's closer to their size.
Yeah, I probably got some things I could offer up as a peace offering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Kirkus is plenty friendly, but I think they'd need to stack themselves 8 high to look him in the eye.
Oh, but they could certainly. I could, give me a couple of those drawings. Happy to hold those.
Absolutely.
I'll be the best poster board out there.
True. You might be the only one with the arm span needed to hold the scroll at full length. So I'll give you my copy drawn. Right.
And whatever happens in there, don't panic. If we act like we're uncomfortable, they're gonna pick up on that, and who knows what could happen.
Yes, confidence is definitely the biggest biggest thing you can have in interactions like this. Although you don't want to be so confident that you appear threatening.
We'll ride that
I
line,
will.
and we'll make this work.
Knob's gonna pull up his pants a little bit. Say, all right, time for the first deal on this island. Let's see if we can make something happen.
All right, let's go. I can take you guys up the way Ashtel and I went last night.
Okay. So we're going up the way that you guys went up last night. Are we trying to be stealthy? Are we gonna wait on the edges for a little while? What's your guys' game plan? Are you just walking into the camp?
I think just walking into the camp. Yeah, I guess we are going up the way we went last night, but then we are going, but we are not going to hang around the side of the camp. We are going to walk up to the metaphorical front door.
Okay. Let's get a walking order. Let's just arrange yourselves.
I think Nob and I are at the front because we're planning to do the talking.
Let's do 2 lines.
I'm ready for when if Sloan needs to reference me, he can point back as I hold up things.
Bo and Ash will offer to take up the rear as fighters at the rear, cover the back.
Okay.
Okay. You guys will climb up a little ways. Again, it's not a terrible climb, but you'll climb up a bit. Go through the mountains in the early morning. You guys are leaving at 7 a.m., so you're going to hike up there, and around 7:30 is when you're going to get there. And so Nob and Sloan in particular. So you guys, what do you look like? You obviously don't have your weapons drawn, but are you just like walking normally? Are you holding anything? Like, are you doing any like gestures as you're approaching?
I'm gonna be rolling up on the cart with my hands up in the air.
Okay, so Nob's got his hands up. Anything for
Yeah.
you, Sloan?
I'm just walking normally, and once the first Replin spots me, I'm going to try and wave at him and try and call him over so I can start trying to talk to him.
Okay. Let's get a diplomacy check from Sloan.
Oh,
Now
I
threatening
use-
to wave.
buddy!
I used my advantage.
I use my advantage.
Is the train advantage?
Yeah, and that's once a session.
We're now officially in dungeon terrain as well, because it's kind of like a city.
No,
City.
okay.
Oh,
Just so for anybody who has that.
Okay. I will roll diplomacy. I will roll diplomacy.
oh, okay.
Okay. Starting off on a good foot. This is good. So Sloan, you guys are really like kind of here, we'll say.
Yeah.
And looking up, you can see that these two archers who are perched in the towers pull their bows back, and you hear "Throw!" And Sloan, waves at this Replin over here who notices him, and he'll begin to approach, and we'll just drag the rest of your party kind of on the map.
So Sloan is going to very slowly and deliberately, in an even voice, in Gob, explain that they want to talk. He and his group would like to talk to the Replins.
Okay, so you're saying me and my group would like to talk to the Replins.
Yes.
You're saying like Replins, or are you saying like you? Like, just say however
yeah.
Sloan would say it. Just say exactly how Sloan would say it.
Yeah. Our group would like to speak to you, your leader.
Okay. And he'll get both of these guys will get close, and you can hear them shout, "What? Wow!" back. You can see this guy go inside. And let's roll a linguistics check for Sloan.
Oh.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay. And their axes are drawn, the bows are still taut, and he's not going to actually get that much closer. They're going to get like here, so still a good 10 feet away from you.
Yeah, Sloan will put his hands up as well with Nob to try and indicate that they're not trying to fight.
Okay. And the Replin will look to his friend. They'll kind of exchange glances briefly, and you'll just hear a response, "Twa, twa," and to the effect of, "Who are you?"
We are travelers, new in this land. We
That
came from very far away.
about, bawa, taba. Um, something along the lines of, "What do you talk about?"
Um. Ooh. Uh. We want to help you. Warn you about danger.
And the Replin will he'll lower his axe a little bit, more relaxed pose instead of gripping it, vertically. Now it's more horizontal. The other one will do the same, and the bows in the towers here will they won't be perfectly taut anymore. Arrows still
Knocked.
knocked. Thank you. I was like, what is that called? Knocked. Arrows still knocked, but bows not taut. And you can see that one Replin who went inside. He comes out, gets in his post again, and a large group. You guys can see all those guys, right?
Yeah.
A large group of Replins will come out, and the archers and the javelineers will kind of stand at attention. Also, weapons out, arrows knocked, javelins in hand, but they don't look like they're completely ready to attack right now. And the Replin warriors will come over, and you hear this one again say, "Bop, bop, wop, bop, bop," and he'll do this motion with his hands, kind of like it's almost like a come here motion, but from what you can hear, he's saying, "Give dangers." And this Replin will come up to Sloan, and he'll like start reaching for. Oh shoot!
No.
Secret Replin.
What the heck? Okay.
Okay, wait a minute.
So you actually couldn't see all the Replins.
Situation has changed.
Yeah, the warriors will put their axes back on their sides, so they're not in hand, but they'll come up to you. Yes, he says, like, present dangers, and this guy will reach for Sloane's sword, and this one will reach for Aurora's rifle.
Sloan will hand him his sword.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let them have the rifle, like sort of reluctantly, but yeah.
Okay. And these are pretty big weapons for the Replins, so they'll come back and they'll hand off the weapons, like using both arms to carry it, and he'll give it to one of these archers. Come back, he'll ask George for his sword, Stella for her sword, Lenora for her spear, Louis for his sword. They're going to ask for all your weapons. Is there anyone who is not handing over their weapon? Okay. You good, George? You okay with handing over your staff?
I just really want to make that Lord of the Rings quote.
I mean, if you want to try
If you deprive an old bunny his walking staff.
If you'd like to do something.
Are they taking Sloane's boomerangs?
Not yet.
Okay.
So right now they're taking the weapons that they can see on you, just the ones that are like attached to your person that are readily visible. I imagine his boomerangs are kind of like tucked into like his belt or something, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So they take all your weapons that are immediately visible, and they'll stand kind of like in front of you, and they are going to do a more like thorough pat down of each of you afterwards. So they'll start with Sloan, kind of patting him down. They'll see the boomerangs. The Reppin will like ask to have it.
Yeah. Sloan will hand them over, and he'll say to the rest of the group, this is just, the price of doing business here. Don't mind. This is very normal.
And the Reppin takes the boomerangs and kind of like looks over them in his hand and is like, "Oh!" And he kind of like motions as if he's about to like throw it, and something to the effect of like, "This is cool." Seems like almost like giddy. They'll let Aurora keep like her like potions and stuff. They don't really like if she has any like potions on her. They don't really seem to care for those. They let Kirk just keep his lantern. He like this Replin kind of like looks at it, asks to like hold it, and just kind of like looks it over and just hands it back to Kirkus. Isn't really interested in it. They'll find a few like daggers that Stella has. She's got like one in her boot, one that's like strapped to like her thigh, one that's like in her sleeve, and you just see like 5 daggers come out of Stella. They'll let Bo keep all of his like religious paraphernalia artifacts as well. And after they get to everyone, all of them approach Nob. And talk about Bobata. What in?
Nob says, or Nob like points to his cart and says, "Check. You can check it."
Nom speaks Gob, right?
No,
Oh, am I the only one?
Yeah.
you're the only one.
Oh, okay. Then Sloan will say to them in Gob, search it. It's fine.
And they'll start to look through it, get some like these old like pots and pans, and they start like clanging like a spoon and a pan together.
Fork in a pan.
Yes, exactly. Again, they seem to be like getting excited by finding all of these like trinkets, and for a second the tension is like very dissolved, and it just seems like a bunch of like kids at like a yard sale almost. And they're not being terribly careful with his stuff either, kind of like passing it back and forth. To take a book, throw it at one of them, he like looks it over, shakes out the pages, throws it back to the other one, tossing all of Nob's stuff about, but doesn't seem like they're actually like breaking anything, or at least meaning to, definitely not meaning to break anything. Question for Nob though, where's the Nob stone?
The card, it's in my pocket.
Okay. So, during the pat down, they didn't find that, and they're not going to find it in the cart, of course. It seems like when they were patting you down, maybe they pressed like over your chest area, wherever it is, and either they didn't notice it, or if they did, didn't care.
I think Nob might even be like, he's not trying to hide it. Like I think he might even see it as like a bargaining tool.
Well, is he going to actively show it to them? Because they didn't find it during the pat down.
No,
Okay.
Not right now.
Okay. They will take your slingshot though.
Yep. What about Wilbert?
They seem fairly uninterested with him. They're like not even really paying attention. They don't like even pat him down or anything. Almost like he's a non-factor. And they take their mountains of stuff, and they give it to some of these archers, and the archers are going to like literally just put it in a pile by the street.
They took all of the stuff out of my cart. Oh my god!
No! Like all of the party stuff. Your stuff is fine. They put everything back in. It's all messed up and all jumbled. They do a pretty thorough look at the cart, so it is scrambled now. But all your stuff is there. They only take your slingshot.
Okay.
They'll take, if you guys, I'm going to open up the equipment dock, because they'll also take things like flares and the firebomb.
Not my most powerful tool.
Yes, they will.
Not my ultimate.
Wait,
They will take the firebomb.
are they taking my portable ram?
They will take the portable ram.
Oh.
They'll take like the crowbar as well from Kirkus. Yeah. And yeah,
It's a decoy weapon.
I think that's it. They'll even let Louis keep his vial of acid and vial of antitoxin.
Oh.
They seem to either not care or not understand what that is.
Wait, I don't have the acid anymore. I just have the antitoxin. I got the smoke signal. Dead.
Oh, weird. Oh, this doesn't say that.
Wait, is there a document where I'm supposed to be updating that?
There
Yeah.
is.
Oh, I've just been updating it in my characters.
Oh, well, no worries. That works too, but this is just so everyone can kind of see what you got.
Okay.
So they'll take all your stuff, all your weapons, they'll literally just like put it in a pile over here. And the Replin who was talking to you will do a motion to follow him.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely gonna follow.
And you guys will make your way through the ruins, and you can see that these buildings are old. They are mossy, they are cracked, they are crumbling. There are remnants of what looks like streets. You can see like little stone tiles peeking out of the grassy jungle floor. Just noticed how quiet it is, and I can't handle it. Cool. And to lead you up the stone steps to this massive structure. You know, this thing is more than 50 feet tall. It is large, and he'll lead you up the steps, and ask you to kind of all fill up the area here. He'll stop at the entrance.
And the proportions of this building are like, it's like us sized, right? Not like Replin sized.
Yeah, it even is like maybe even bigger than you sized. Like this entryway can fit someone who's like 8 feet tall.
Fit Kirkus. It's Kirkus sized.
Yeah. It is.
This is actually where Kirkus's ancestors live.
It is large, and the steps too. Like the space in between the steps, like there is a lot of space. Like these Replins can take like 3 steps before they have to go up the next step.
Ish.
Yeah. And they have to kind of like step like with all of their step to like get up to the next one. It is definitely not built for their size. Or if they do, they have some kind of weird thing that they like to do with the building.
They have a very weird philosophy about architecture. If they
Yeah,
built this.
exactly. Here, we'll slow. And he's gonna go inside. And all the other Replins will kind of like follow in behind you. And then out, he'll come out with one individual. And it looks like one of the Replin spear wielders, about the same size in shape as the other Replins, but you can see that this Replin has like scars all over his body that are like white scars where it looks like he's been cut in battle. You can see both of his horns are chipped as well in various places, and instead of holding a silver spear, its tip is a bright gold. Post a picture of him in the creatures channel for you. Find him.
Okay. Among the group, so we're trying to warn them about Xanalex. We're trying to convince them that we're on the same side.
Yeah. We're trying to befriend them, rather. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the message is something along the lines of a big powerful monster called Xanalex has somehow escaped.
We ran into this monster. We don't want you to run into it too.
Also, like,
Maybe a little bit more than that. Also, like, we would like to work together to do something about it.
Yeah.
also, we really want to show them the stuff we found in the cave and see what they know about it,
Yes.
Yeah.
and if they know anything about like Cathax or anything. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, either how to stop Xanalex or how to summon the other guy. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. How well has Sloan been understanding them so far?
Um,
It seems like pretty well.
you think that you have been understanding them like much better than expected. Like there are some words that kind of drop and get left out, and some of like the nuance of their speech is different, and you have to make some inferences. Like when they say like maybe they're saying terrified, and you're interpreting it as like scared, you know. But like overall, like this communication actually seems very good.
All right. Aurora, Kirkus, get out what we want to show them. I think we can start with that.
All right. Yeah, I think I gave Kirkus the scroll earlier, so you should have it.
Yeah, it seems like a good place to start. So I will. They didn't take that, right? Just took weapons and whatnot.
Yep. Nope. They didn't take any of your parchments or anything.
All right. I will slowly pull out the parchment, and then it's very long, so I will like grab each end and then like unroll it. Is there a good place
Okay.
to put it, or should I just hold it?
There isn't really a good place to put it unless you want to put it on the ground.
Yeah, I'll hold it, like, and I'm next to Sloan, so Sloan can point to things, and it's not super high up that the Necklin has to like, crane their neck like they're in the first row of the movie theater or something.
Okay. And this is the etchings from what you guys saw in the Xanalex cave.
Yeah, that whole like timeline.
Okay. Okay. You can hear the Replins speak to each other. You can see this guy like look over to your stack of weapons, look at all of you, and he looks at the parchment. And he gets up real close, and he like touches it like very very softly, kind of right where that first etching is, where the robot is. What the bop? Bam. Roll another linguistics check, Sloan.
Okay.
Um, where is this?
We saw it in a cave nearby. We were attacked by this one here, and he'll point to like the figure that we think is Xanalex from the carvings. We were attacked by this one, and we wanted to warn you before you were attacked as well.
Dagabop. Dwabop? He points to the Xanalex one. Creature bad?
Yes, very bad.
Dababop. What is creature?
Like you, but much, much larger. And Sloan will hold his hand way above his head to try and indicate some scale.
Dababop. Dawa. Dawop. How far?
So it's been what, like we've journeyed like a few days since we revived Xanalex, or was it just a day?
I believe this is the second day that you have been traveling. So I think you traveled. Yeah, you just traveled one day and then you camped here. So yeah, it's like a day's travel away. But
All
of
right.
course, that's going up the mountains, so maybe a bit more.
No,
Yeah, and also
this is day
our
3.
pace as opposed to Replin's.
Is it?
So, Sloan will just say a couple
Yeah.
days,
Yeah.
and point in the direction where the cave was.
Double. What about? Baba. Why tell?
Uh, this one, and he'll point to Xanax again, is very dangerous. We could not uh we could not beat her. We need help.
Dobab. Who help?
Uh, your help. We have seen you uh in this jungle, and we thought you would know how to defeat her. And he'll point to Xanax when he says her, and then he'll say, "You know this, right?" And he'll point to the robot.
Dow. Dabab. Dababa. And something like, what do you know about it?
Only very little. We're new here. We have just traveled here from very, very far away.
Dabab. Dabab. Have you seen it?
Uh, yes, we have seen it on walls and in buildings like this one.
Not real one.
Correct, not the real one.
You
Have you
seen?
seen the real one?
Just looks at you for a second. Then Bow Bow points to the gem at the center of the robot. You've seen this. Just completely ignoring your question.
Um, is the gem at the center of the robot like the gem that's on top of the temple?
Now I'll let you make a determination about that. It looks exactly how it looks.
Okay. Um, Sloan will just kind of involuntarily look up to the top of the temple when he's asked the question, and then he'll just kind of point.
Dow. No.
Then no, we haven't seen it.
Dow Baba. Kabada. You've seen more of this. He kind of does a wide sweeping arm motion across the scroll.
Uh, yes, we copied this from another place.
How many plays like this?
Uh, a few. Sloan will hold up like 3 fingers
You
that
can
we've seen.
and you can see his eyes like grow wide. Baba Sabat Kaba. You have more drawings?
Yes, and Aurora can maybe pull. Aurora, he wants to see more of what we've copied down.
Okay. I'll get out my journal. I've been one of my journals, the sketchbook journal.
Hmm.
Show them, look back through the creature channel and see what specifically we copied down. Um,
Show
I
him the
believe
picture
I've
of the
copied.
runes.
Yeah, I believe I've copied down like the runes, um, especially like the ones that were on the knobstone, and also the mark that was on Kirkus. Things recently.
Mm, okay. And are you going to show
Um,
him the other etchings that you found in the other ruins?
yes. Um, wait, which etchings?
Remember, you guys like the first etchings that you saw of the robot in
Oh
those
yeah,
ruins, like by the river.
Right, they had the other robots or robot-looking things next to it.
Yep.
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. He's going to take particular interest in that drawing and look at it for like 45 seconds, like a long time. Dab up. Have it up. And he says, "You show us where." And he grabs parchment from his bag.
Way.
And he points his finger on it and just keeps repeating, "You show us where." And he points to both of the etchings.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
What the heck?
Wait, wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait. The Replin just drew this map.
He
He
had
had
it
this
as
map.
Yeah, he had it.
he had it.
Oh my god. Wait, I. So I will emote eyes.
He was
Uh,
pointing, "Show us where."
do we have our own version of like the map that we've been making? Do
Yes.
we?
I know that I'm carrying around a map and a map case. And I
All right.
assume that that's what we've been like updating the map on.
Aurora, get out our map and let's see if we can line the two up.
I will. And so, what I have on my map, sort of like the pins that we have
Yeah.
on the online one.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we do know like where it is relative to
Yeah, we
that
know where
first
it is
one.
on our map.
Well, hold on, I'm just looking to see which one it was that had those. It was the ruins in Mural. So it was northwest or northeast of the of St. Alexis Bones, due north of the frog statues. So it's like right around um, just after like the first bend in the river when it's snaking north. You know,
Okay. So yeah, so you'll point that area out.
yeah, I'll point that out, and I'll also like be extra clear, like show them our uncompleted map and like point to it on there, and then like point to where I think it is.
Yeah, Sloan is going to uh
Ah,
do his best to try and like hold Aurora's map side by side with the Replin one, and uh try and indicate, you know, where we think this would be on their map.
He he makes like he takes out like a piece of chalk from his bag and like puts two little chalk marks on the map, and then without rolling it up, he hands it to another Replin.
and while this map is out, I know that I can't like sketch it right now, but can I like try really hard to like commit as much of this to memory as possible?
Yeah.
Knowing that like I want to try to draft some sort of rough version of this when we leave.
Okay. Yep. Definitely
Alright.
makes sense. Well, we'll do that check at some point. Okay. And so yeah, he'll give it to this Replin, and that Replin will go inside. Taba, Tababa, why here? Why far?
Um. Uh. When we found that we are from far away, and many people live far. There are many far away. We are the first, we think, to come from far away to here.
Taba, well, why here?
um. There isn't exactly a reason. We just decided to.
I believe one of those skill checks is deception, right? The third
Uh,
one,
yes.
roll a deception check.
Okay.
Tawata, chikabop, dubop, habadadadadadada. And he starts weaving his hand in the air, and the Replins, a lot of them start like cheering, like yeah, ho ho, ma. And he turns, and what you gather is something about like we let them decide. He says, "Tabaka, come with me."
Oh, jeez.
And he will take you into the temple. And you go into the temple, and almost as soon as you enter, like the enclosure, it's just stone above you. That 8 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot entryway. You go in, and there's stairs that lead down. It's mostly just like a flat stone surface where there's basically nothing on it. It seems like this temple just like really doesn't have much in it. Um, but there's a staircase down, and you will all be led down the stairs until you reach an enclosure with a glowing yellow on the wall and a fire roaring.
Oh boy.
Oh, we have to ban you inside the ruined map.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
what are you?
oh,
What are you?
do
Oh boy.
Sorry, my bad.
Boy.
My bad.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
I'll
Wait,
oh
this-
boy that oh boy.
Yeah, it's an old
wait,
boy.
we got
The Flying Islands.
hands, heart gem, a bar graph,
A
rope.
bar graph.
Oh my god!
An analysis of this quarter.
They're different gems.
Robots are way down this quarter.
I
Island.
need that report on my desk by Friday, Johnson.
Chinese writing.
Chinese writing.
Uh,
Oh my god.
that gem's a heart. Wait, what shape is the? I can check it myself.
Those have got to
The
be.
gem
Those have got
on
to be the
top
floating
of this
islands.
thing is like just sort of like oval shape, sort of pointy on one, maybe both ends. Sort of like a teardrop shape, I guess.
Wow.
So not heart shape. Have we seen a heart shaped gem yet? Oh god.
The moment we walk in here, Knob's gonna put his hand on his pocket that's holding the knob stone.
Okay. Okay. And the Replin's gonna go over to these ruins, and he's gonna go inside the tower. He's gonna come out, and he he's holding another one of those robot heads.
Another one?
This one
All
looks
by
different,
himself?
though. Yep, he's carrying it with both hands. It's smaller than the other one, for sure.
Okay, I was like, he's so strong. What the?
Yep, it's stronger than, or it's not stronger. It's smaller. He's not any stronger. It's just it's smaller than the one that you guys saw previously. I'm trying to find my picture of it. It looks distinctly different. Smaller, different color. It is golden, and it has like one eye. Looks like.
Oh. Interesting.
And he says, "What? Coming up, zip up," and motioning with his head over towards the wall, like line up.
He wants us to go over to the wall. I'm not exactly sure what for.
Boy,
Sloan, and whisper in his ear like, "It seems like things are going well. Is that correct?"
Yes, as far as I can tell, they're curious about us, but definitely not aggressive.
and as you approach Kirkus, you feel this stinging
no.
on your chest. This hot. It doesn't feel like the first time when you like got tattooed, but it is hot and it is uncomfortable. It feels like someone is pressing like just like a very warm, not like burning, but a warm iron to your chest.
No, I spelled it wrong.
Sloan is going to look at Kirkus as he like doubles over as they were just a second ago talking to each other.
About how good things are going.
How good things were. Yeah.
Thanks, is going great. Oh no!
Is this pain enough to bring me to my knees?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Is the thing happening again? What happened before?
Yeah, I think so. I'll like open up my shirt a bit more and take a look at where the moon tattoo is. Is anything else being drawn there?
Nothing is being drawn, but the moon tattoo is glowing. It is glowing white.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
You can't see it through your shirt. Your shirt's like opaque enough to not see it if your shirt's buttoned up, but looking down, it's glowing. Not like, full shining light, but it has a glow to it.
And it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It hurts.
Well, it's somewhat different. I don't see that beam of white light coming from anywhere. Oh, it does not feel good though. Tell you that.
You might want to not keep that out. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know how they'd react if they saw that.
Put that thing away. There are lizard children present.
Knob's gonna pretend to reach into the back of his cart for something, and he wants to peek at the knob stone.
I roll a sleight of hand or a stealth check.
Okay. Which one's sleight of hand? Oh, here we go.
Here, I'm gonna... this guy's kind of distracted, so we're gonna do it at disadvantage.
Okay.
My brother.
He sees Noblink reach into his pocket, and he says, "Stop!" Points directly at Nob, and you can see a bunch of the archers pull their bows taut.
Sloan will had been looking at Curticus and will snap around the other way. Nob, what are you doing? You're scaring them.
Did nothing. Nob will turn around and put his hands in the air. I did nothing, I swear.
Sloan will
Blah, blah,
look to the Replicants.
And something about what do you have?
A bead of sweat is gonna start dripping down Nob's forehead.
Sure.
You did see Nob. You did take a peek at it though. You did get your peek, and it looks like normal. It's not glowing or anything like that. Yeah.
Show him what you've got, Nob. He wants to see it.
Oh. Okay. Don't shoot me, please. Nob will take out the knob stone and say, "Behold, the knob stone."
The Replin's like as he says, like, behold the knob stone. You can see they're all like very like on edge, axes in hand, bows pulled taut, and the Replin like looks up, kind of looks confused, and like puts his hand out, reaching towards it.
Nob's gonna like hand it to him, but still hold on to it, kind of thing. like the reluctant give, but he'll eventually give. But it's the reluctant give.
All right, it's like a little bit of like a tug, and the Replin's like, and then shows a little bit of its scraggly teeth. Nob, let's go. And the Replin like looks at the card, flips it over to the side where there's the etched characters in it, and like literally like jumps. What? Dame, haba, sobara, zibalimo.
Oh.
Take what up? No, so no. And all the Replins draw their bows, pull out their spears, raise their axes. And he goes back to Sloan and doesn't get close. Now he's again like 10 feet away, and then he takes out his spear in his right hand, holding the knob stone in the other. What?
It's a stone that we found just on the ground. That one down on the end, Nob, he picks things up. He likes to carry them.
At it again. Bunch of the other Replins still with their weapons drawn, but their attention definitely a little bit distracted as they come and try and get a peek at this thing. We
didn't think anything of it at first, but when we walked into another place like this, it reacted, and the characters that are on it, those appeared, and so we've been carrying it with us since then.
Don't let them take it slow. It's the only thing I've found on this island.
Dawa. And he brings the map out again, unrolls it, his map. Where?
Where this, or where did it light up?
Where this?
I mean, we found this on like our first day, right?
Yep. This is by the Blackstone mine.
Yeah.
That's where we live.
Sloan will point to the the west coast of the Replin map, and say we landed around here, and we found it there.
Dawakat? Know that? Ha? Under the earth? On top of earth? It looked like this? One found?
On top of the earth. It didn't look like this at first. It was just the stone, and then it reacted to being brought in a place like this. That's why he was looking at it when we came down here, because he thought it might do something again.
They all kind of look at each other, looking at the leader. Some like try and grab it, and he like moves his hand away so no one else can touch it. Awa Hayata? Can you read it?
No, we can't. We don't know any of the languages here. I can only speak to you because there's a similar language where we're from, but it's not the same.
You can hear others pipe up from the back. What? Come on! Sit down! And from your gathering, Sloan, they're arguing about it. Something like, "It is not theirs. It is ours. We must keep it. The old ones give to us."
God, Laura must be thinking you're going cuckoo right now.
Oh no, this is what I do. Like just normal.
Yeah. Dude, he's been practicing for weeks, just waiting for the first time we would talk to the replicant. If you would like it, it can be a gift of friendship.
Don't let them take it, Sloan.
You can't hear me, or you can't understand.
I know, I just don't want you to let them take it.
He'll move closer to Sloan. Go ahead and roll another diplomacy check. Sloan.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Damn.
Clutch?
He kind of like squints his eyes at you a little bit. Dawa. Power. Power. He says, "Thank you. We still must let them decide." And he's gonna take the he's gonna put the card like in between some of like the leather straps on his arm, and he looks back at the rest of them, ha, and moves his hand down, and they all lower their weapons. Something like halt. They all, yeah, lower their weapons completely, relax, and just all kind of like move forward in anticipation of something. And he takes the golden head with both of his arms, and he reaches above and holds it up high in front of him over his head and points it facing Nob. Dawa!
What are you doing?
He just holds it there for like 10 seconds. Then lowers it, kind of looks at the face. Oh. This time he doesn't even have to raise it up that high because George is pretty small, but makes it level with George's head. Dawa! Which is something like choose or judgment to you, Sloan.
mm-hmm.
Nothing happens. Dao? How? Kind of like points his head down in like a downwards motion. Something like sit to Louis.
Sloan will call down to the end of the line. They're I think this is part of their accepting us. Louis, kneel down so he can hold the stone up to you.
Okay. I will kneel down.
All right.
Actually, I'll get it down on one knee like I'm being knighted.
Okay. All right. Nice. And yeah, he'll hold the head up, so it's level with Louis' head. Waits 10 seconds. Luther and Ash and Bo will all kneel down like Louis does, and he goes down the line. Nothing happens. Same thing. He gets to Sloane, holds it up, and waits 10 seconds. And after he does it to Sloane, he brings it down. And he looks at the face. Kind of turns it so it's pointing towards him, and he looks at it very intently for like another 10 seconds. He's like waiting for something. Kind of has this curious expression on his face. Shrugs, moves over to Kirkus, and puts it up level with his face. Doa! And after 5 seconds, this humming begins to emit from the robot's head. And Kirkus, the singeing, the searing pain in your chest grows greater. Now it really feels like a hot iron. Instead of just being laid across your chest, it's being pressed into it. And the face of the robot, the one eye, begins to glow white. And all of the Replins, like, move in closer. And he keeps holding it there, and it's growing more and more painful the longer he holds it, till eventually the humming stops. And the pain in your chest, Kirkus, is diminished. Not completely gone, but it's like it was before. And then Replin brings the helmet down and looks at it, and the glowing in the eye, the white light, begins to fade. And every single Replin turns its head from the robot to Kirkus. And just an eruption of chatter begins. And all the Replins are talking like super fast amongst themselves. This chorus of chattering begins to echo across the chamber. And wah, wah, quiet. And the rest of them go silent. Duaka, who are you?
Kirkus, he's asking who you are. How do you want to answer him?
Oh. Well, I imagine they're curious because of that reaction that just happened. And I was definitely like hunched over, but I'm back, like I'm on my knees still, but I'm gonna get up, sitting on my knees. Well, I don't know what they're expecting. And I'm just me, I'd say.
Sloan will answer. He's just one of us. He's from far away.
Tawa, Chakabato, Tokawa, Hogawa, Liseli. And the last word is definitely in a different language than you guys have been speaking, but something around not here, far away. Are you sure? Is he not? And then the word he said was Liseli.
He's definitely from far away. But I didn't understand the Liseli. Say what it is.
Dogwa Liseli. 他个的哇聊的 and again, kind of hard to understand the nuance because he's trying to be very specific here, but something about um, people of this land, the children of light.
Um, he's not of this land, but he is a person of light. Liseli?
The Mao, Tawana. He kind of like motions like around Kirkus and like surveys him, kind of like doing a little like 180 degrees, like looking him over from head to toe. Does not have the mark, but the old ones, they know.
Kirkus, I think it may be time now for you to show them what you have on your shirt or under your shirt.
All right. I assume it's related to whatever's going on. And Kirkus will like. He's not just gonna unbutton his shirt. He'll like fully take off his shirt. He's sweating a bit from getting like. I feel like he's getting branded. So, the whole shirt's gonna go around his waist.
All right, the shirt comes off, and the rest of you see that Kirkus's tattoo is it just has this like faint white light around it. It is glowing a little bit, not emitting a ton of light, but definitely glowing. And
Sloan will ask, "Is this the mark?"
the Rippling Javelineer will, he had his spear out. He'll put it back on his back, and he'll approach Kirkus very slowly with his palm out. Just super slowly. Seems like he didn't even like hear what Sloan said. His entire focus directed on Kirkus, reaching his hand out, and the 4 fingers will touch Kirkus's chest. Cold and scaly. He'll rest his palm there.
Ooh.
He'll close his eyes. He'll just sit there for 15 seconds. Then again, very slowly, very gently, remove his palm from Kirkus's chest. Open his eyes. Dawa! Dawana! And the Replins, all before, weapons raised, arrows taut, unload their arrows. They put their weapons at their sides, and they literally like in uproar start like clapping and shouting. And the Replin will turn back to the Kirkus and Sloan. Nawad? Da what's that? Bawada. Dawa. Tegabab! Zoneta. No, not regular. But definitely from old. Where? Get this.
Sloan will indicate on the Replin map where and say it was very similar to here. The same pictures on the walls, and he'll hold his hand up to the wall behind him, or maybe not the same, but very similar, very close.
Tewa? Halaha? Dogawa. It appeared when came in cave like this.
Yes.
You just hear like a gasp across the Replins. Oh! Dewaka. Denawe. Tawaka. Mandana. And he'll touch Kirkus's chest as he's saying this. Juana. Pagaba. He'll walk over and he'll hand the card to Nob.
Nob will grab it aggressively and hold it to his chest.
This
Thanks.
is sign. This is sign from old ones. You are chosen. These are gods. They choose you. This meant to be yours.
Thank you. We we appreciate you welcoming us here when we have come from so far.
Tawana Kwa. Almost done. And he'll do the same thing with the head to both Stella and Lenora. Nothing will happen. Come back to Sloane. Now what? Dobobab. Sigabab. Donowa. Kadabab. Donowa. Tasabab. Subra. Daga. Dogawanana. Se la la la. Sogaba Doror. Tuba. Sikta. Now about the creature. We cannot help. Those markings tell story. Long ago. Old one to mountains. Then it kind of gets jumbled a little bit. Can't really understand what he's saying. The other one, return as intended. That mountains. Mountains of the goddess. And he'll pull out his map and he'll point to an area on his map. It says here.
If we go there, we find the goddess?
Yes.
Okay, I think that is where we will go.
Tabano wa tabap. Zono no. Shigatata. Good wishes. Good luck. Please tell us more ruins if found.
Yes, and we will. And if you could tell the other groups of you that are around that we are friends, then that would make it much easier for us to travel across the land.
Roll a diplomacy check with advantage. Dawaha? Manakwa. Stababa? Zinawat? Tagawa. We will tell them, but be wary. There are those of us who may not understand you, and who may not respect the old ones the way we do.
Understood. We will be careful.
What? Start up! Come on then. You have much travel to do.
Wait, where exactly was the place on the map where he pointed to the goddess being?
So if we go to our new map,
I did see the map.
yes,
Ooh.
he so he pointed to the tall mountains in the east.
All mountain in the...
So when you guys were
Where-
like hiking here, this is where the
Okay.
cave is. This is where the cave is. You came down here. You guys are about here right now, and he pointed to like the towering mountains, the tallest in this range. To the east here is where the goddess is.
Okay. So I was a little concerned that we were going to look and see that he had just pointed us directly back to the chamber that we came from, and that Xanalex was the goddess, and that would be bad for a lot of reasons. This is good.
No, it's very different, and he'll also tell you as you're leaving, path of clouds. You follow.
So is he inferring that the goddess is Carthax? Carthax.
I think that's our best guess. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, looking at this mural on the wall, the if we look at like the rightmost image on this wall mural, right? We can see what looks like a bunch of those floating island thingies, and at like the topmost one is like the heart gem. I wonder if that's telling us that like maybe the heart gem like means the goddess, and she's like on top of the Zendikar Islands.
Maybe. Because I think at least from what I remember, um, Aurora's like tales of Cathax describe Cathax as like as a male dragon,
Correct.
Oh,
not a goddess, unless they were confused.
You're still with
interesting.
the Replin man if you want to ask him any other questions before you're on your way. I mean, they appear very friendly right now.
Yeah, could someone ask him what the goddess is?
Yeah, could you ask him how we'll know the goddess when we meet her or if we find her?
Okay.
Ask him
Yeah.
about Carthax too.
I'll get back out our scroll of the etched carvings from Xanalex's cave and ask him, point to Carthax and say, "This is the goddess. This is who we were looking for."
Okay. Do another linguistics check, and you can do this one with advantage because you've been kind of communicating well and have gotten a little bit of a handle on this situation. Doa. Dega. Donam Nawa. Dawahaya. This is goddess, and he points to the horns with the gem in the middle of them above the mountains.
Oh,
And he says, and he kind of motions with his hands like upwards. Big. Big. rock in mountain. Follow clouds. This I do not know, pointing to the dragon. Then he asks, do you know what it is?
No, we only thought that it would help us beat Xanalex, beat this one.
Kind of puts his hand to his chin, thinking. Dawa? Namadaba. Dawa. Perhaps the goddess may help you. Be careful.
And we should follow the clouds. We will know the clouds when we see them.
Dawa. And Dawa. Wa la la la. He says, oh, you will see clouds. Make sure to bring plenty of rope. I hear monkeys are good at climbing. That is good for you.
Ooh.
Clone.
We're going into the mountains. He says that we're lucky that we're good at climbing.
Did he tell you what this thing is? And Novel raised the knob stone.
No, not exactly. It was a little bit hard in that part of the conversation to tell if he was referring to your card or whether he was referring to what happened to Kirkus, but one of those things he definitely said was a sign. But it's all positive. I think it means that we have been accepted here.
Just said to him, got me my card back, so thank you very much. And, to the clouds. Did you ask him about the big crystal on top of the building here?
Oh yeah, I will. I'll point back up to that and ask. Is this a part of what we'll see?
Dawa. Zegana Koata. Dawa. Menaka. Perhaps. There are many like this on the island. They hold great power, but you must respect them for the old ones.
He says that it's. I think it's something similar to what we're going to see.
Oh,
Dawahana. Zegawata. You may use some of its power, but it is wise to keep it with the goddess.
Novel look to Kirkus.
Someone will say to the Replin, we will be careful because we know these are not our lands.
Dawa. Hagada. Stop. Dawa. Thank you. Make sure to respect the ancients. And by the way, what call you?
Griffin Crown. We all of us that came here are Griffin Crown. I am Sloan.
Dagawa Sera Gravakra! Say goodbye to Griffin Crown. A poor saying of Griffin Crown.
Yeah.
Dagawa Crown!
They're they're seeing us off and wishing us luck on our journey. So that's much better than all of this could have gone.
I'll wave them goodbye. Now that I'm feeling better.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's subsided, and you guys can go to this tree and pick up all your weapons, and other gear. And if you want to go to the goddess, then you will be making your way back north, higher into the mountains, kind of coming back from which you came.
All right.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a plan.
All right. Well
Have a
done, guys.
My God, we interacted something without stabbing it.